Welcome to the Thursday Night Lights High School Football Game of the Week, presented by Wendy's. We are live in Mukwonago as the Indians take on the Wolverines from Waukesha West. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike McGivern with Sports Radio 1250 WSSP, and this is the Sports Radio 1250 pregame show. I'm joined by two head coaches of tonight's game, Clay Iverson from Mukwonago, Steve Rux from Waukesha West. Boys, geeks like me, when they see a game like this, they want to come up with a saying. You know, hey, it's a Donnybrook. It's a Classic 8 Donnybrook. It's two heavyweights hitting each other. The best I can come up with is this has a chance to be a really, really good high school football game. Steve, I'm going to start with you. First conference game for you guys. Is there any difference in how you prepare and how your kids get after it at practice for the first conference game?
Well, I think so. You know, we got to be ready. Starting the Classic A is a very good conference. And watching Mukwonago play, this is the toughest test that we've had. So we got to be ready. And, you know, we had a good week of practice, good challenge coming over here. It's always tough to play here. So our kids know that, and it should be a good night.
Clay, same question for you. You know, for the second year in the Classic 8, and you understand it as good as anybody, do your kids prepare differently? Does the coaching staff get after it a little differently first conference game?
I'd probably echo Coach Rux's statement a little bit. You'd like to say as consistent as possible, but the kids are smart. They know that it's a first conference game. They're excited. Community's excited. Anytime you're going to play Waukesha West, and they're great players and they're great staff, you can't hide that from kids. So everything gets ramped up a little bit, sure.
Guys, we talked a little bit about the conference, but I want to stay in that arena. Again, guys like me talk about what's the best conference, who's the toughest conference. There's just not really an easy putt in the Classic 8. Waukesha South's playing well. Waukesha North's playing well. Kettle Moraine beat a good Riverside team. Look up and down the conference, and I know that as coaches, you guys look one game at a time. You never look ahead, but you work ahead. And I'm wondering, Clay, for you, this conference is everything that people say it is.
Oh, I think and then some. And I think if you start looking at the any other teams other than yourself, you can go crazy. Because every team is so talented and everyone's got people that you got to concern yourself with. So we try to keep our eye on Mukwonago, because if you start worrying about other teams, you'll go crazy with the talent that you've got to see and prepare for every week.
You bet. Same question, Coach?
Yeah, no question about it. And, you know, there's great teams in every conference throughout the state of Wisconsin, but consistently you got to be ready to play each week in the Classic 8. So you just take them one at a time and hopefully stay healthy and make it through the meat grinder and see where you end up. Hopefully you get one of those playoff spots at the very end.
Hey guys, I'm going to cut you loose. Look, on my radio show Saturday mornings, I've said plenty of times, two of the best coaches in this area, maybe throughout the state. Really excited about this one. On the other side of the break, I'm going to turn you over to John Weiser and Dick Basham for the keys of the game. This is the Thursday Night Lights High School Football Game of the Week, presented by Wendy's.
Week 3 of the high school football season kicks off tonight in Mukwonago, a Classic 8 conference matchup as the Mukwonago Indians play host to the Waukesha West Wolverines. Good evening, everyone. John Weiser and Dick Basham with you from Mukwonago High School. A big matchup here tonight between a pair of 2-0 teams as they get set to renew their rivalry in the Classic 8 conference, and this really has turned into a classic rivalry.
Well, they're about 25 miles apart at the most, I guess, and they both have won state championships in 2000s, both won in 2004 and West in 2010. But it's a big rivalry, and it's a very important game because the winner is going to be in one of the driver's seats for the conference championship, I think, as the season goes on.
Game's going to feature the area's top rusher, Elijah Fort, and he is the leading ground gainer in the area coming into the game here tonight. But good coaches will tell you good backs have a good offensive line in front of them, and that's what Waukesha West has here tonight.
Their entire offensive line is back from last year, but I think the key for them is their left tackle, Josh Schneff, and their left guard, Austin Vetta. Both are 3-point above students, all conference players last year. Very good blockers, good athletes, and I think they'll be the key to running the ball tonight.
The heart and soul of their team is on the defensive side, David Konowalski, and that's a very familiar name to football analysts.
Well, Tom Konowalski, his father was a longtime coach at Milwaukee Tech, very successful coach there. He had an older brother at West, but David is the heart and soul and one of the leaders and the captain of the team. He'll play on both sides of the ball, alternate series at tight end, but he plays defensive end all the time and is a very good player.
Mukwonago features a flexbone offense, and that's going to feature the quarterback that we'll keep an eye on here tonight.
Well, any good option offense has a good quarterback, and Aaron Nixon started all last year. He's averaging 6.3 yards a carry this year. He's an excellent player. He's also the point guard on their basketball team who was runner-up in the state championships. So he knows what to do and is good at playing under pressure.
Siskowskis defensively, a Wisconsin recruit, leads that linebacking core.
Well, Dominic Siskowskis, number 47, you're going to see a lot of him tonight. He also plays on offense. He's averaging 35 yards a carry at fullback. He doesn't carry very often, but it goes a long ways. He has a 94-yard kickoff return. He's a multiple sport athlete. He's also a starter on the basketball team, but he's a linebacker at heart and be going to Madison next year, and he's very good.
That leads us to our keys for the game tonight, Dick.
Well, the keys for West, I think, are to be successful on first down and get at least 4 yards a carry. Play good field position, keep Mukwonago backed up, and no breakdowns in those option responsibilities to contain that offense.
For Mukwonago tonight?
Well, they need to keep the offense out of long yardage situations. They don't want to win by throwing the ball. They need to blitz West, I think, and disrupt that running game that they have going so well. And finally, I think they need to create a couple turnovers to win this game.
West has won 4 straight in this rivalry. The kickoff next on My 24. Welcome back to Mukwonago, site of our game here tonight. Mukwonago Indians and Waukesha West, a Classic 8 conference opener. Both 2-0 coming into play here tonight. Another gorgeous evening for high school football in southeast Wisconsin. Temperatures dropping back into the 60s. A cloudless sky, very light breeze. Should be an excellent evening for football tonight. Right now we're going to step aside and enjoy our national anthem here this evening as sung by Mandy Sinkler. Outstanding job by Mandy Sinkler here tonight to get things started. As these two schools at 2-0 coming into play here tonight open up conference play. Should be an exciting ball game. Two very well-coached teams, obviously, Dick, and two very proud programs here in Mukwonago and Waukesha
Yeah, well, that's
West.
true. You're going to see a lot of blue and white on the field here tonight. And I think it's a toss-up. I've watched both of them practice this week, and they both have their strengths. Obviously, teams have weaknesses, but right now it's the strengths that they play with, and they both run the ball, which is going to make it a very interesting game. Probably a team that was able to complete some passes might make the difference, or who gets a key turnover here and there.
Really, the difference, I think, will come defensively. Who controls that line of scrimmage, that flexbone that Mukwonago runs? Can West control that effectively in the early downs? And then, of course, Mukwonago, can their defense stop Elijah Fort, leading rusher in the area coming into the game here tonight, 375 yards and 5 touchdowns?
Well, both of them have very experienced offensive lines, although Mukwonago did lose one of their best players for the season with a knee injury. But They both have strong offensive lines. I think the defensive lines might be where the difference is, and we'll see as the game develops.
West will kick off. Ben Milzer, one of the better place kickers, punters in the area. We're going to see two outstanding kickers here tonight, but Milzer, one of the best, will tee it up at the 40-yard line to our left. Haar and Siskauskas standing deep.
Well, I wouldn't kick it to Siskauskas if I was
94-yard return.
Right, yeah.
Earlier this year against Horlick, and the run-up and the kick by Milzer. It's a high floating kick. That'll be taken by Haar at the 5, out across the 10, up the middle to the 20. Haar breaks it across the 25 and dives forward to the 30-yard line. Good return, 25-yard return. Cody Kujawa in on the stop for the Wolverines, gives the Indians very good field position at their own 30-yard line.
Well, that kickoff here, Dennis, kind of pick your poison, because Haar is a triple jumper. He finished second in the state in triple jump, and he also was a sprinter on their track team. So either way, you got a problem when you kick it down there.
Aaron Nixon in at quarterback. Again, that flex bone, that option, he's going to see quite a lot running that football. He makes all the decisions. A pretty well gifted athlete. Also that starting point guard on the runner-up basketball team this past season. Two receivers to the near side. Right, the man in motion, the slot back the other way, and Nixon will keep it. Gets to the line of scrimmage, and he is wrestled down immediately. Nick Radloff coming in, the inside linebacker, a junior, in on the stop for the Wolverines.
Well, it's all about option responsibilities, and his responsibility was a quarterback, and he was there, and he stopped that play for about a 2-foot gain. That's not what Mukwonago wants on first down. They need to get yardage on first down in order to stay in sync for their running game.
Madden. And the give this time is to Straszewski. Straszewski, the running back, brought down by Marcus Kelly. Again, a short gain just across the 36-yard line as we set the backs for you.
Yeah, well, Jeremy Haar, I mentioned before, and Jeff Johnson is the tight end when they use one. Ryan Wagner, Zach Timmers, and Jared Madden are the running backs, along with Straszewski, who just carried the ball this last play.
Third, we'll call it 4 here at the 36. And the give is to Straszewski.
No.
Breaks a tackle, gets the first down out across the 45 to the 46-yard line. Good second surge as Milzer brought him down from the secondary.
Well, he was able to break the tackle of Marcus Kelly, and who would have stopped him for not short of a first down, but yards after contact is very important, and Straszewski showed why he's averaging over 7 yards a carry.
A First Bank first down. Again, thank you to First Bank Financial Center for being our first down sponsor on Thursday Night Lights. First Bank Financial Center, one bank, one resource. They're going to pass. Nixon airs it out. Far side, complete to Wagner. Wagner with some room across midfield and out of bounds in Wolverine territory. Dragged down inside the Wolverine 40-yard line. Cody Kujawa riding the back that time to bring him down. Nice swing pass that time to the far side, Nixon to Wagner.
Well, this is very well done on first down. Option teams don't often throw on first down, but if you're going to throw, that's the down to do it because the defense is expecting you to run. A simple out pattern, good position there. You can see with the quarterback, ball's right on the money. Johnson's an experienced receiver and got a few yards after the catch.
Spotted at the 43. Nixon in trouble. Breaks 2 tackles, stays on his feet, makes something out of nothing. Getting it down inside the 40, down to the 36-yard line, about a 5, maybe 6-yard pickup. That should have been a 3-yard loss, turns into a 6-yard gain. Brett Rux, no relation to his head coach, able to make the stop.
Yeah, that's exactly right. He should have been thrown in the backfield, and that's several tackles here that West has missed here in the last 2 plays, and that doesn't bode well if that's the way it's going to continue.
Second and short. Straszewski lined up in a wing to the right. Madden in a wing to the left. He comes in motion. And the handoff is to the fullback. That is Madden, the fullback. Had Timmers in motion that last time, but it's Madden on the carry, the senior. That's his 11th carry of the season. And he'll pick up the first down for the Indians. Konowalski.
Just an easy straight ahead play, give to the fullback. Nothing fancy about it, but he got plenty of yardage to get that first down.
On the 28, Nixon two-step drop, swings back, looking left side. It goes incomplete. Looking for Dane McDermott here on the near side, the intended receiver. McDermott, part of that split end combination of Jeremy Haar and McDermott, will alternate quite a bit here tonight at that split end position.
Well, throwing to the left for a right-handed quarterback is a little different. You have to get your shoulders around, and he didn't quite get his balance right, and as a result, the ball went over the quarterback's head, or the receiver's head.
Sets up 2nd and 10 for the Indians. This time Nixon will pitch. Timmers around the right side, breaks a tackle down near the first down marker, but a flag down on the play, our first penalty of the night, brought down by Sam Hippis, the inside linebacker.
Yeah, I think they're going to get Jeff Johnson probably for holding or blocking the back. I can't, on the far side, it's hard to see. It's going to negate a good gain.
Todd Ahall is our referee here tonight. The umpire is Scott Riley. We'll get another look here.
See it up at the top of your picture on the right, possibly. There's the pitch. A lot of room to run. They called that holding. I think that was right. Looks like he had a hold of his shirt.
Todd Ahall, our ref. Scott Riley, the umpire. Linesman Gary Matson. The line judge Jake Matson. And the back judge is Randy Cole tonight.
One of the keys in this offense for Mukwonago is that their receivers and their slot backs have to be good blockers in the open field.
Official timeout here. 2nd and 16. We just realized we still have the kicking tee out on the field.
Somebody's shirking their duties there. Somebody's supposed to run out there and get that.
A good manager would get that every time, right?
That's right.
2nd and 16. Ball at the 34 of the Wolverines. Nixon on the option. Cuts it back inside with some room. Nixon takes it down near the 20-yard line. Gets some of that yardage back. Little inside move that time, cutting it at the hash. Drew Rhodes with the stop as we head downstairs and visit with Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, if you follow either team, you know there's two ways to skin the cat. You watch Clay Iverson and Coach Mukwonago up and down the sidelines, getting guys up, really vocal. On the other side, Steve Rux, a little more stoic, just talking to players, making sure that everybody knows what their assignments are. It's kind of fun to watch. Two ways to skin the cat.
13-yard pickup makes it 3rd and 3. Penalty marker down. Timmers on the carry. Another marker goes down, thrown by the umpire. As that play stopped right at the 20-yard line. Nick Radloff able to take Timmers down, and it'll be another call here against Mukwonago.
Illegal motion. That previous play where Nixon had the long run, that was a really well done. Somebody missed an option responsibility. And got to give a little love to the right tackle, Alex Winsky from Mukwonago. He's 6 feet to 180 pounds. That is very small for a tackle, and this is his second year as a starter for Mukwonago, but he's a tough dude and gets the job done.
They'll decline the penalty. It was illegal shift, 2 men in motion, so it'll be 4th down here for Mukwonago, and they will go for it. Indians facing 4th and 3 here, their first possession of the ball game.
Now a little too far to kick a field goal. Better chance to get a first down in their opinion, and I think I would agree with that here at this early part of the game.
Timmers in the backfield. They'll pitch it to the wingman. Straszewski coming around the left side. Straszewski inside the 20. It's going to be close for the first down. Drew Rhodes, who was the starting quarterback last year, now playing in the secondary for Waukesha West, stepping up to make the tackle.
Got it.
And they pick up the first down. Get another look here.
Just a little toss play. See the good block on the outside by Jared Madden, and Suzuki turns up, and he's a good back. He gets those extra yards after he gets hit.
Well, we've entered the purple zone here tonight. Normally we call that the red zone, but the purple zone being brought to you by Kaplan University, a different school of thought. Timmers met at the line and driven down. A host of Wolverines there, led by Marcus Kelly. Check that, Jared Madden on the carry. Kelly in on the stop. Small gain.
Well, this is 4-down territory, and for a running team like Mukwonago, that's very doable.
It's like Waukesha West is going to take their first time out here with 7:41 to play. Again, I want to remind you that Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's is available streaming live online. Simply log on to my24milwaukee.com, click on the Thursday Night Lights link. You can also find complete game videos and photos from this season's games. That's my24milwaukee.com. So Coach Ruck's taking a timeout here on defense. I think more or less calm the Wolverine defense down, give them a little bit of a breather here on this opening drive. It started on the 30-yard line here for Mukwonago. They were able to convert on 4th down.
Well, they've been in position to make plays for most part, and they've missed too many tackles. One thing about playing an option team, it's hard to duplicate it in practice, especially the speed of how they run their plays. As the game goes on, oftentimes the defense will become more used to the speed of what's happening and get into position quicker. And I think Coach Rux is exactly doing what you said. Get his guys calmed down. Just make plays, stay home, and we'll be all right.
Set downstairs to Kara.
Hey guys, Kara here. I'm sitting here with Steve Kirchenberg, Wendy, and Frosty. We're down on the field. Steve, question for you. How do you think Wendy's benefits from having such a great relationship with Thursday Night Lights?
Well, obviously we get to go to different communities within southeastern Wisconsin, and that definitely is a plus for both Thursday Night Lights and the Wendy's brand. That's what it all comes down to, is what the brand name for Wendy's and Thursday Night Lights teaming up together.
And I had a pretzel bacon cheeseburger tonight for the first time, but from what I understand, you guys have some new items coming to Wendy's?
We do. We're bringing back the flatbread grilled chicken sandwich and the smoky flatbread grilled chicken sandwiches. They were here about 3-4 months ago. They were very, very popular. We pulled them away, and now they're coming back.
Sounds great. Sounds good. Thank you very much for being here, and back to you guys in the booth.
Kara, thank you very much. Nixon was stopped on a loss, and now another penalty marker here. Mukwonago, their 3rd penalty on this drive, this time a false start. I believe the quarterback, Nixon, pulling out from under center a little early.
Well, that timeout has been effective because it's settled down west and broke the momentum that Mukwonago had going, and they've had two miscues here, and now they find themselves in 3rd and 16, which is a tough situation for an option team.
We'll have Madden and Timmers along with Strzezinski lined up in the bone, and they'll give it to Timmers. And Timmers met at the line of scrimmage, may have gotten a yard. That's it. Marcus Kelly again. 2nd big stop on this drive for the Waukesha West defense.
And that was a little counter play. Fake to the left and coming back to the right side with the left back lined up on the left. And he slipped a little bit, but Marcus Kelly was there to gobble it up.
They're going to bring in the field goal unit here for Mukwonago. This is going to be a 41-yard attempt. Make it a 41 yard. That's where they put the tee down.
Well, I think I'd look for a fake here because they weren't going to. They had a shorter one before and didn't go for it.
Strzezinski on the snap. Nixon will hold for Timmers. Ball down. Kick is on the way. Plenty of distance. And it is good. Just inside the left upright. Wow. 41-yard field goal for Zach Timmers. Had a 20-yard field goal against Badger a week ago. And he comes out with the 41-yarder. And Mukwonago on top, 3-0. We'll take our first break. Mukwonago 3, Waukesha West 0. Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's on My24. 41-yard Zach Timmers field goal in a 3-0 Mukwonago lead. On the opening drive here tonight, took just over 6 minutes for Mukwonago to get on the board.
Well, a couple of things happened in that drive. I think West just got their defense back on the field there after that timeout and seemed to get a little bit better control of the situation. But Mukwonago has shown if they get to the 25-yard line, they're a threat to get some points out of it, whether they can keep going and get a touchdown or a field goal from that distance to start the game is really buoys the spirit of the entire team, and I'm sure Timmers' confidence is at an all-time high as well.
Drew Rhodes to the right, Chase Sharnick to the left to receive this kick from Timmers.
Interesting alignment here for Mukwonago.
Timmers kicks it away. Sharnick will take across his own 10 to the 20. Busts it outside across the 25. Doesn't quite make it to the 30-yard line. Good hustle on special teams. Jake Krieger coming in to make the stop for Mukwonago.
Well, Jake's one of the best players on Mukwonago's team. He started last year as a free safety. This year he moved up to linebacker. And he and Sazauskas are the ones that control the situation for the Mukwonago defense.
It was the 14-play drive, went 47 yards. Really the 3 penalties on that drive.
Really stymied it.
And of course, the 41-yard field goal by Timmers. This is Fort. Bowls his way forward. Fort out near the 30-yard line. Good run.
Well, right over that left side, we talked about Josh Schneff and Austin Vetta, the left guard and left tackle, and that's right where they started out, and they got a nice surge. Got a little over 4 yards in that first carry.
Jake Krieger in on the stop. Mike, what do you have for us?
Hey guys, listen to the offensive coaches from Mukwonago talking to their line, wanting to know why they're letting 85 look all world. And they're really trying to figure out why they can't block him. He also said, don't try to make the miracle play. Let's get 3-4 yards every play and right down the field. Pretty interesting conversation on this side of the field.
McCudden with a big gain out across the 40, near the 41-yard line. Dylan Ulrich made the tackle. Huge gain and a first down for Waukesha West.
Well, that was a nice little fake to the left, and then in the meantime, McCudden's coming out in the flat on the right side. Quarterback reversed out and dumped him the ball.
So first down for Waukesha West at their own 40-yard line. Connor Blunt will hand it off. Fort trying to get the outside. He'll be brought down for a loss inside the 40-yard line. Krieger again, his 3rd tackle here tonight.
Yeah, Jake came in from the inside out and was able to drag that play down from behind almost, and that's huge.
Let's get another look here.
See right here. Comes right in underneath the block there of Vetta, and was able to make the play.
2nd and long for the Wolverines, all just short of their own 40-yard line. Fort again, busts it outside, has some room. Fort cuts it at the hash mark across the 45, out to the 47-yard line, gain of about 7 for Fort. Siskauskas with his first tackle of the night, the inside linebacker for the Indians.
Well, you can see that Elijah Ford has that burst that gets him into the open. He stretches the defense immediately. Gets caught inside. Block there from McCudden, helps him a little bit. Sazauskas with sprinter speed is able to run him down.
3rd and 3 for the Wolverines, just short of midfield. Blunt, 2-step drop, looks to throw, completes in the slot. Making the catch, Drew Rhodes. Flanker out there, able to make the catch. Austin Seward and Krieger both there to make the stop, but it will be enough for a Wolverine first down at the Indian 46-yard line.
Well, last year Drew Rhodes was a quarterback. This year he's a backup quarterback. Waukesha West has started Connor Blount, who was a sophomore. He's a very good sophomore. You can see that in that throw there. He's got a great arm and very good accuracy.
Fort to the right. Inside the 45, wrestled down at the 43. Matt Hartung there to make the stop for Mukwonago.
Well, you see a little bit of Barry Sanders in Elijah Ford. That's the best I can do as far as comparison. He comes up, he's that little jump stop, and all of a sudden he's heading to the outside and turning a play that was going nowhere into a 4 or 5 yard gain.
Fort and McCudden make the backfield. 2 receivers split to the far side. Tight end is Konowalski here to the near side, and Fort met and driven down at the 41-yard line. Krieger again, along with Nate Essman, a junior, out of that safety spot to make the tackle as we get another look.
Well, you got the big, strong linebacker in Sazauskas, and then you got the quick linebacker in Krieger, and that is a great combination because they can work together in combination, and that seems to be what they're concentrating on, blocking Sazauskas, and Krieger's making the tackles.
3rd and 4 for the Wolverines at the Indian 41-yard line. 3-0 Mukwonago. Wolverine their first possession. They'll go twins left and right. Single back is Fort. They'll throw it to a spot, and it's incomplete. Intended for Chase Sharnick out there. The junior split in, and it brings up 4th down. Clay Iverson, head coach for Mukwonago.
Clay coordinates the defense, and that's his baby, and you can see he's very involved in what's going on here right now.
Ben Milzer will come in to punt here for Waukesha West. Krieger will stand, heels planted at the 10-yard line.
See if Milzer can spot punt it here. Looks like he's going for the.
Krieger will receive it at the 10, breaks a tackle to the 15, and out across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
I think he wanted to kick it more to the corner, but got off the side of his foot and ended up in the middle.
Nick Radloff in on the stop for the Wolverines, and so second possession of the night here for Mukwonago with 1:53 to play in the quarter. And a 3-0 Indian lead as we head downstairs to Kara.
Hey guys, don't forget to log on to my24milwaukee.com and vote for the Wendy's High School Football Fanatic. Watch the videos, cast your vote, and sign up to win.
This is a big gain down the far sideline, and it will go for the touchdown or not.
Short.
No signal, he's going to be short. Knocked down just short of the goal line.
I think that was Timmers, wasn't it?
Big play run that time by 33, Colton Williams.
Right.
A junior, 5'9", 170. I believe it was Milzer who brought him down short of the goal line as we get another look.
Well, they got the edge on this option play right here. And whoever had the pitch was out of position, and you can see he's got some wheels and just outran the defense. And let's see who was able to catch him. Okay. That is Cody Kajawa was able to catch him from behind and save the touchdown, but we're on the 2-yard line.
First and goal in the purple zone here. And Nixon into the end zone for the touchdown. And Mukwonago adds to their lead, 9-0. Two-play drive, the big play, the option pitch, 70 yards down to the 1-yard line.
Well, they brought Zazauskas into fullback and faked it to him and pulled it out and gave it to the running back, and that was pretty easy. Nixon kept it and walked in, and that was a little bit too easy, I think, and West is going to have to regroup.
Timmers for the extra point. Low snap. Nixon on the good hold. It's up, and it is good. 10-0 Mukwonago. 1:16 to go in this first quarter. A 78-yard run down to the 1-yard line. The big play, Colton Williams. He's a 5'9", 170-pound junior, just his 6th carry of the season.
That'll improve his average a little bit, won't it?
Get you, 6 carries now for 103 yards? Yeah, that'll improve it. So that Waukesha West sideline stunned somewhat here off that big play capability. And as you said, the edge was set on that right side.
One thing I've been impressed so far was with Aaron Nixon and his composure on the option, getting out there, not panicking, looking at the situation. In that particular long play, he could have turned up and run it himself, but he waited until he drew the defense to himself and then was able to pitch the ball. And then the man on the pitch was out of position, and Williams was down the sideline.
78-yard run by Williams makes it a 10-0 ball game. You know, King of the Hill is coming to My 24. You can hang out with Hank Hill, his family, and all of his rowdy friends. Don't miss King of the Hill weeknights at 5 starting September 16th right here on My 24. West down 2 scores. Sharnick and Rhodes waiting the Timmers kick. Sharnick will take across the 10 to the 20. Cuts it across the 25, back inside to the 30.
Nice cut.
Out to the 32-yard line. 22-yard return that time. Hartung and Schifferl in on the stop for Mukwonago. Waukesha West now down 10-0 here late in this first quarter.
Well, they had a nice drive going. It stalled out. They were forced to punt. Let's see if they can get it going again.
Connor Blunt, 6'1", 180, sophomore at quarterback. McCudden, the fullback. Elijah Fort, the tailback. Two receivers split out to the left. And they'll try option. Fort will get the pitch, and he is met. Got it across the line of scrimmage out near the 35-yard line. Austin Seward did a nice job reading that play. Stayed with Fort to bring him down for a short gain.
Yeah, don't try to con man here. You got an option. Trying to run an option against a team that sees the option every day in practice and not able to pull that off. Austin Seward made a very nice play there.
Working in a little Duck Dynasty there. Don't con the comment. I think that was the episode last night.
I have to say I've never watched it, but I hear it's quite a show.
From the gun.
Well,
and movement as Marcus Kelly jumped, the tight end.
Marcus Kelly and David Konowalski rotate series at tight end. Konowalski played the first series, and Kelly's in on this one. They both play defense. Works out well. They're both good-sized guys. And
2nd and 13 here as the clock will wind down here. Final 20 seconds of our first quarter on a gorgeous night here in Mukwonago. Boy, we've been blessed.
Sure
3 straight weeks of terrific weather.
They're going to try to get one more play in here.
Dawson along with Sharnick split out here the near side. Empty backfield from the gun. Blunt under pressure. Now steps up over the middle. Catch is made. It should be enough for a first down. Rhodes with the reception. Gain of 13 and a first down out to the 44-yard line on a beautiful rollout that time by Blunt as our first quarter comes to an end. 1 quarter in the books here in Mukwonago. 10-0 Indian lead. Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's on My 24. Ten nothing Mukwonago on top of Waukesha West. A 41-yard field goal by Zach Timmers, and Colton Williams, a 78-yard run down to the 1-yard line. Set up the second scoring drive for Mukwonago, but West on the move. First play, second quarter from their own 44-yard line. John Weiser, Dick Basham, Mike McGivern, and Kara all with you tonight from Mukwonago. From the gun again, Blunt. Fakes right, looking left. Now delivers. Catch is made out of bounds. Konowalski. Check that, Marcus Kelly with the catch. Kelly.
Well, that was close.
They rule him out?
I think they did. Connor Blount is a sophomore. Jeff Trickey, who's the quarterback coach at Weston, has been coaching. His toes on the line. Right toe is right on the line. I think that was a good call. But Connor Blount is the first sophomore that Jeff Trickey has started at quarterback in 42 years of coaching, and that tells you something. He does quarterback camps all over the country. Connor Blount is very good. He's got great poise for a sophomore.
This time they'll give it to Fort. Tries to break it outside. Fort trying to gain the edge. Gets across the 45 out to the 46-yard line. Gain of 2. Sets up a 3rd down and 8.
Nice job by Dylan Ulrich coming up, and he lost his footing, but he's able to force the play back inside and hold it to a short gain.
So 3rd and long here for Waukesha West from their own 46-yard line.
Well, this is a key play. I think West would really like to keep this drive going and establish that their offense can move the ball. They've struggled a little bit here since the early stages of the first quarter.
Rhodes split out here the near side. Play fake to Fort. Blitz is on, and down goes Blunt inside his own 40-yard line. Christian Stewart, I believe. Christian Stewart, who got there first on Blunt, had some help from Siskauskas.
Yeah, that was right up the middle. Number 90, number 98, we don't have on our chart. That is, that guy is not on our program unless it was number 99. I can't give any credit because we don't have his number. name.
Loss back to the 39-yard line. West will punt it away, and they just do get it away. Will bounce inside the 30, stays in bounds near the 20, and will be down there, right at the 20-yard line.
Well, we got a good bounce. It was an average kick, and
got a 42-yard punt that
got
time.
the members bounce on that one.
In a grass field here tonight, natural turf, in excellent shape, I might add.
That's beautiful.
Should have brought my clubs here tonight.
Yeah. No, I don't think the field could take that kind of punishment.
Hey, that's true. Again, we remind you that Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's is available streaming live online. Log on to my24milwaukee.com. Click onto the Thursday Night Lights link. You can also find complete game videos and photos from this season's games at my24milwaukee.com. Indians with a 10-0 lead. Their first possession, second quarter. Nixon running option, nowhere to go. Good defense that time up front. Radloff getting in for West along with Brett Rux.
That appeared to be a little bit of a counter type option, reversed out, but the defense was sliding that way, and they were all over that play and got nothing out of it.
No gains, 2nd and 10 upcoming for Mukwonago.
West needs a 3-and-out here. Would be really what the doctor ordered to get them maybe a chance to get back in the game, get some field position.
Williams in motion. And they run that option. They'll bounce it out across the 30, out near the 32-yard line. Should be enough for a first bank first down. Once again, Radloff in for the Wolverines as we get another look.
Well, Mukwonago's been able to take care of the quarterback assignment on the defense, and Nixon's able to turn up the field, and he's a 190-pound quarterback. He's a very good runner, and he's always has a pitch man out there.
Second team all-conference. Nixon this time wants to throw pump fakes. They'll hitch and
Hitch
go.
and
Ball
go,
in the air. Contact was made. No call, as it was intended for McDermott, covered by Rhodes, and the two bumped their way across midfield, but no flag.
Clay Iverson trying to help the official out there, how the game was officiated. He might have an argument. I thought the defender did put his arm out. It wasn't a catchable pass, but it's not part of the high school rules as it is in college.
Who has walked more sidelines up and down in coaching, Clay Iverson or Lou Holtz?
Well, I'd have to give it to Lou right now because he's a little older, but Clay is on his tail, I can tell you that.
2nd and 10. Nixon will keep. Around the left side, Nixon the quarterback across the 35, near the 36-yard line on that far sideline.
West has got to get this, who has the quarterback fixed, and if he's getting blocked, then somebody has to replace him as far as the defense rolling to the play, and that has not worked well.
Kelly and Kujawa on that right side, able to stay home and make the play. Sets up a 3rd and 6, 8:40 to go first half, 10-0 Indians. They'll pitch it, man in motion, and he's met in the backfield. Small gain, if any, that time, as they read it well. Once again, Zach Timmers on the carry, Konowalski and Kujawa
right,
able to make the stop. So a 4th down here for the Indians. They will punt as we get another look.
Well, Dyson Shimura, who is normally the strong safety for West, is not playing tonight. He has a sprained ankle. He should be ready next week, and Hodish Kujawa has moved from his weak side to the strong side defense, and he made a nice play in that last run.
Let it bounce inside the 25 and will roll dead at the 20-yard line. Now it's time to tackle the Kaplan University Trivia Challenge. Text Kaplan to 58447 to play for a chance to win a Kindle Fire. Message and data rates may apply. You'll receive 2 messages with a trivia question and answer. You can text HELP for help. Mobile privacy policy and terms and conditions available on my24milwaukee.com. 7:51 to go here in the half. Mukwonago back out on defense with the 10-point lead here as the Wolverines will take it at their own 20-yard line.
Well, both punters got the benefit of team's not catching the punts and getting a good roll here. West has got to go 80 yards now.
Elijah Fort breaks a tackle to the 25 before he is driven back. Hartung there to make the stop.
Well, good job there. If we have a replay here of the defense bouncing that play to the outside. You're going to see it coming right at us here. First defender, Krieger misses the tackle, but he forces him outside. And then the next man in makes the play and keeps him going sideways.
Fort, the tailback, leading rusher in the area, coming into the game here tonight.
That was Matt Hartung who made that tackle.
375 yards and 8.5-yard average per carry. Play action, Blunt will toss it out to McCudden, the fullback, with some room across the 35. And he's splattered near the 38-yard line, but it'll be enough for a first down. Dylan Ulrich, the corner out there on that left side, coming up to make the play.
Well, McCudden's a tough customer, I'll tell you, and that's the second pass he's caught. And when he gets it, he's got speed, and he brings a load with him. But I got to give Dylan Ulrich, he didn't back off. He came up and put the best hit on him he could. He took a little bit of a shot, but he did get him down.
Sometimes you're the bug, sometimes you're the windshield.
Right. Or the hammer and a nail, whatever.
Play action again by Blunt with time. Going deep,
nice
has a man out there, Sharnick. And it's broken up, incomplete.
That's the same guy, Dylan Ulrich.
Yep,
right
Ulrich there, step for step. Closed at the last second to break that one up for Mukwonago.
Well, that was very good defense. It was an outstanding throw. It would have been a great catch. That's a great football play all the way around by all the people involved. And I'm very impressed by Connor Blount. Great position. You look at his footwork. Little wobble on the ball, but that can happen.
Actually hit Ulrich in the back of the jersey that time, defending Sharnick on that play. Fort again. Tries to squirm his way out to the 45. Sazowskis there to make the stop.
You can tell by how he goes down that Sazowska made the hit, because he's 6'2", 250, and he's got great athletic ability, explosion, and he just puts you on the ground. And he's not playing dirty. It's just how he plays, and he's going to be a great player for the Badgers, I can tell you that.
3rd and 5 from the 45. Play action fake to Fort. They'll swing it out here to McCudden again with some room across midfield. McCudden to the 45 and down to the 42-yard line. Ulrich able to step up and bring him down, but it'll be another first down for the Wolverines into Indian territory as we get another look.
Well, again, a little reverse out, and they haven't got an answer from McCudden in the flat. And it's a deceptive play. He's going in the opposite way of the flow of the play and getting into that backside flat and giving them a problem.
2-year starter for the Wolverines, McCudden. Averages 4.5 yards per carry when running the ball. Fort with some room, gets the edge. Fort, Elijah Fort, inside the 30-yard line, will pick up the first down. Dylan Ulrich again in on the stop. Watch this play develop.
Well, Elijah Fort is a great story. Last year at this time, he was academically ineligible, and he decided, with the help of his mom and the coaching staff, that he wanted to change things around, and he has done that. He now has over a 3.0 average. He's done a great job responding to the coach's challenge, his mother's challenge, and it's great to see him having a great game here tonight.
16 and a first down as they swing it out to Sharnick here on the near side, inside the 20, brought down near the 15-yard line. Ulrich there again, along with Essman, the free safety for Mukwonago.
Well, Chase Sharnick also is showing a little bit of his athletic ability. 6'3", 180 pound. He's a 2-year starter already as a junior, and he's got that range, long arms, long legs, and you've got a quarterback who can put it right on the money. He has a chance to go all the way every time he catches it.
The Purple Zone once again, brought to you by Kaplan University, a different school of thought. 1st and 10, Waukesha West. Trailing it by 10, midway through our second quarter. Fort over the right side with some room. Down near the 10-yard line. Sishauskas there again for the Indians.
Well, offensive line on the right side over there did a great job this time. Tom Walker's the center. Kyle Myers and Joel Schultz on the right side really got off the ball and made made some running room, and Elijah's got that burst, and he's in that hole before you know what happens.
Gain of 5, 2nd and 5. Ball at the 10-yard line. Penalty marker flies on the snap. Fort brought down in the backfield, but this will be, I believe, on the offense here. It might be a motion penalty here. Major and Krieger.
Right.
Krieger's been busy tonight,
Yes.
Dick. That's 7 tackles now for Krieger tonight.
Well, he gets around. They've got the two linebackers, Zauskas and Krieger, are probably as good as you're going to find on a high school team in Wisconsin this year. They complement each other so well with the strength and the speed.
Clay Iverson taking his time deciding what they want to do. They'll decline the penalty. There was a loss of 2. So they'll take the loss and the play here to bring up 3rd down.
Well, it'll be interesting to see where they go back to McCudden possibly. You go to Sharnick on this.
Lunt will work in under center. I formation. Fort the tailback. Play action. Roll him to the right. They'll dump it out. Complete. Out to that far side. Konowalski, I believe, with the catch.
Right. Came all the way across.
Inside the 10, down to the 7-yard line. Going to be short of the 1st down.
I think he lined up on the left side as a tight end, and at the fake was to the left, a running play left. And while that was going on, he was coming across underneath, under the linebackers to the backside flat, and that was really well executed.
Yard shy of the 1st down, and a timeout will be taken here. Waukesha West, their 2nd timeout. We'll take a break as well. 3:58 to play. Mukwonago on top of Waukesha West, 10-0. Thursday Night Lights, presented by Wendy's.
Kara here down at the field at Thursday Night Lights. I'm standing here with Chris Jenswald of Kaplan University, the Business Development Director. And now we know that Kaplan's a great place for high school students to attend, but tell me about how adults can attend Kaplan University.
Well, one of the things, like you said, is that we don't only cater to the high school kids, but we also cater to the non-traditional, we call them. So someone who maybe took some time out after school, or maybe started a degree program, didn't finish, or maybe someone who's got their degree but now wants to change careers, or who wants to advance their job opportunities with the next advanced degree.
And from what I understand, if you've already got a job, then your employer can actually maybe be able to help with the opportunity?
Yes, we partner with lots of corporations in the southeastern Wisconsin on development opportunities for their employees. So I work with a lot of the HR managers, not only on our degree programs, but also on single course offerings. If there's, we all heard about that skills gap, if there's some skills, particular skills they want, or some competencies that they want to acquire.
And it sounds like Kaplan is a great place to attend. Thank you for being here, and back to you guys in the booth.
Thank you, Kara. Fort cuts his way back to the goal line. Touchdown, Waukesha West. It was McCudden who picked up the 1st down on 4th and 1. And Elijah Fort, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the West Wolverines on the board.
Well, it just bounces off the right side. Gets a couple blocks from one from Konowalski. And comes in on that short yardage situation. They ran a power eye. McCudden was able to pick it up. Here's another look at the touchdown. And you give Elijah Ford a crack, and he can get in it, and he's gone.
Extra point up and through. 3.5 minutes remaining here in our first half, and the Wolverines have cut it to 3 on the Fort touchdown run. 5'9", 170-pound senior, coming off a 4-touchdown game last week against New Berlin West.
Well, he's fun to watch, and it's really nice to see him come back from where he was last year at this time and have a great season. I think if he can keep it together, he's probably going to be playing a little college football in the future, and that's good to see. We have ourselves a really good game here, it looks like, and both teams are been able to do what they want to do on offense, and now it's up, I think, to the defenses to figure out who's going to decide to stop who.
Let's head back down to the sideline and Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, listening to the coaching staff at Mukwonago, especially Clay Iverson, he's talking about look at the quarterback's eyes. Watch his eyes. Make sure that you're watching his eyes. He's talking about getting turnovers here. and now he's talking about getting a stop. They need to get a stop. The eyes of the quarterback right now is telling everything, and their coaching staff has been preaching that since the first quarter. We'll see if it helps them coming up.
Good point, Mike. We'll see if that works out here. Clay Iverson picking things up here as we go, as Milzer with the run up. And it will be taken by Haar. Haar out across his own 20, out to the 23-yard line. Brought down by Drew Rhodes. 11 plays, 80 yards. And Elijah Fort with the 5-yard touchdown run.
All right, now we'll see if the Mukwonago offense can get something going again, or if the West defense can get a stop and get that ball back and see if we can even this up.
From the 21-yard line, 1st and 10, Mukwonago. Nixon wants to air it out.
Well, it's that same first down pass they ran early in the game, and it's there.
McDermott on the reception. Andrasky ushering him out of bounds. Gain of about 7 on the play, sets up 2nd and 3. They'll work it from the near hash. Penalty marker flies. The play whistle dead.
Might have been movement on the offense.
Yep, false start penalty once again here on Mukwonago. Well, that's what their 5th flag tonight.
Yeah, they've been shooting themselves in the foot a little bit.
I want to remind you, My 24 is my place for sports. If you're looking for more football this weekend, we've got it for you. Don't miss Middle Tennessee against North Carolina on ACC football this Saturday morning at 11, right here on My 24. 2nd down 8 via the penalty. Nixon will run option. He gets to the left edge, out near the 28-yard line before he is wrestled down there. Ben Milzer, the senior cornerback, in on the tackle that time for the Wolverines.
Good job of the tight end, Jeff Johnson, getting his block and keeping that defender off the quarterback, giving him a chance to get around the corner.
Well, key 3rd down here for Mukwonago. Late here in this 2nd quarter, leading by 3. 3rd and 3 from the 27. Try and work it out the outside, bouncing it out there. Strzezuski out near midfield. Drew Rhodes able to chase him down out to the 48-yard line.
And that was just speed to the outside. Strzezuski's got good wheels, and he was able to bounce it outside, and the corner got caught inside. You can see right there, a little stiff arm. And Rhodes is a free safety. He had to come all the way over and stop that from being a touchdown.
On that play,
see the frustration there from the defensive coordinator, Terry Beal.
It's Joe Grabo getting helped off to the sideline with some sort of a leg injury. For scores and updates of all the key high school football games in the area, tune into Wendy's Varsity Blitz High School Scoreboard Show and join our own Mike McGivern and High School Hall of Fame coach Ron Davies. Friday nights at 7 on Sports Radio 1250 WSSP. 1st and 10 Indians. Nixon under pressure on the scramble, dumps it out complete across midfield into the Wolverine territory. Tight end Jeff Johnson on the reception. Drew Rhodes on the tackle. Gain of looks like 10. Could be enough for a 1st down.
I think he got it just by a foot or two. I got a flag on the far side there. That was a nicely done play, a little fake to the left and then a bootleg out to the right by the quarterback. If tight end goes down and just turns in and he hit him right in the seam.
An eligible receiver downfield, the call.
I didn't see I can't tell who was lined up incorrectly, but evidently the tight end was covered up or wasn't on the, not sure what that would have been.
Negates a 10-yard pickup here, moves Mukwonago back. Boy, They have had troubles with the yellow hanky here tonight.
Evidently, thought the flanker might have been, thought he had him covered up and it wasn't an eligible receiver then.
Ball back to the 41-yard line, 1st and 15, and now whistle stopping play. From that far side, did Waukesha West take another timeout here or not?
If they had a question or what.
Not sure what that was all about, but
wanted to order a pizza or something. Wanted to see what he wanted on it. Yeah, I don't know.
Clay Iverson, head coach for Mukwonago. If you're an official working the sideline, you're going to get an earful all night.
Yeah, they're used to it.
Yeah, they are. Nixon, option. Rhodes there to meet him in the hole at the 45-yard line. Drew Rhodes having a strong game defensively tonight for the Wolverines. The free safety was a starting quarterback last year, and as you hear Steve Rux talk about him, he's called a great all-around player, and that's why 6 tackles tonight.
Here you can see fake to the fullback, Sazowski's, and that whoever has a quarterback has just disappeared or getting blocked. I'm not sure.
Trying to dump that one off in the flat. Incomplete, looking for Jeremy Haar, the senior split end. It stops the clock, minute 33 to go, and a 3rd and 10 now for the Indians.
You know, you're talking about the banter with the officials. Most officials will listen and take it as long as you're respectful and you're not trying to demean them. If you're just doing it to nag, well, then it gets on them a little bit.
Now let's see what Mukwonago has in store here. They face a 3rd and 10 from their own 47-yard line. Late here in the second quarter. Send Strzezuski in motion. He'll take the pitch, trying to go around left side. And he's going to be driven back. Penalty marker down as well. Great job by the Wolverine defense to string that one out. Cody Kujawa able to string that one out along with Alex Andrasky.
I think they're going to get a holding penalty on probably decline it.
This would be the 7th penalty on Mukwonago here in the half.
Yeah. I think Robert Cracklow, the left tackle, actually kind of tackled. You'll see it out here. Grabs right there, grabs number 18 and pulls him down.
So holding the call against Mukwonago declined by Waukesha West. Sets up 4th down. West will get the football back here. They have 1 timeout remaining.
They need to field this punt.
If they're going to punt here. It looks like Nixon back in here at quarterback, so let's see. He's in that huddle.
I don't know why they would. Yeah, I saw him go in. Maybe they're going to force West to burn a timeout here or something. Or they're going to. Sounds like they're going to take a timeout themselves.
Yep. Clay Iverson will take the timeout. Stopping the clock here with 61 ticks remaining here in this first half. An entertaining first half. Boy,
yeah, I think it's been
Mukwonago jumped out to that 10-0 lead, but West kind of has gotten their footing here since the midway point of that first quarter. They took that timeout on defense in that first Mukwonago drive, Dick, and it seems like that settled them down.
Yeah, other than that long run, they really have done a pretty good job of containing the Mukwonago offense, and they've kept their composure. One thing that you got to watch for, Mukwonago is a little bit deeper. They on their depth chart, they have a few more players, I think, than West has some guys going both ways. Fatigue could be a factor, although it's a cool night. It may not develop. As long as they keep giving them fluids and we don't have cramp problems, I think they'll be okay, but that could be a factor.
Just don't bring any kryptonite. Superman in attendance here tonight.
Right, yeah. Oh, yeah, is he here?
Over there in the student section tonight.
I got a job for him.
Good crowd on hand, as always, for Mukwonago football games. This community turns out. Both schools, great turnout on both sides here tonight.
Well, this is high school football at its best, the way I see it, right here. Beautiful night, great setting, and good crowd. Two well-coached teams.
Excuse me, Dick. Zach Timmers will punt. He got a 41-yard field goal to start the scoring tonight for Mukwonago. Low snap. Timmers able to gobble that one up. Be a short kick. It'll bounce at the 30. Wolverines will let it roll to the 19.
All right, we'll see if they have a 2-minute offense or a 1-minute offense.
Well, Connor Blunt 6'1", 180-pound sophomore quarterback. They have one timeout. Again, clock will stop on made first downs while they reset the chains, so plenty of time here with 50 seconds to go. They've got an excellent place kicker in Ben Milzer, so have to probably at most try and get it inside the 30-yard line
Yeah,
here.
they've got a kicker that could make it from probably 45 yards, I think, from what I can see.
So they get it down to about the 25 of Mukwonago. From the gun, Blunt scrambling right with plenty of time, dumps it out, completes the pass out near the 32-yard line. Rhodes able to come up with the reception. Schifferl on the stop.
Well, Blount he's got great composure for a young quarterback. His feet are excellent, and he has a very quick release, and he's very accurate.
Officials will take a timeout for a measurement here. So the chain gang will come in. A short jaunt for them. They'll stretch him out. And
no short.
2 links shy of a first down. So referee Todd Ahall will use the change to spot the ball on that far hash mark, 2nd and 2 links.
That's interesting. Now are they going to burn it down and try to run it to get the first down, or just keep throwing it? I think with the situation we're in, I think I'd just keep throwing it.
Hill lined up in a slot here to the near side along with Sharnick.
They're very backed off on the inside receiver on this side, and he could easily do a quick turn in and get a first down.
Blunt's going to heave it up near sideline, has Schrenk there, and he can't come up with it. Incomplete, just overled.
Yeah.
Sharnick that time, his junior split end here, just a go route straight down the numerals.
He had position too. He had Dylan Ulrich was inside of him, but Sharnick had about a 4 or 5 yard advantage on him. If it had been thrown well, it'd have been a problem.
Stops the clock, 30 seconds to play here in the first half. You come right back with Fort here.
Yeah, well, I think I'd come back with a quick short pass, get the first down, and maybe line up right at the line if they can. That's Jeff Trickey right there, the quarterback coach. And this young man is going to be an outstanding quarterback, one of the best I've seen in quite a while. Their quarterback sneaking for the first down.
And again, the clock stops while they reset the chains. They'll get the first down on the quarterback keep by Blunt. Stewart there to make the stop defensively.
Steve Rux is telling him to go to the line and call the play right at the line. Sure, there's something they've rehearsed.
They pick up the blitz. Blunt on the scramble. Back over the middle, completes to Rhodes. Rhodes across midfield, 45-40. Rhodes to the 35, out of bounds near the 30-yard line. Out of bounds at the 28 is where they'll spot him. Krieger with the run out that time for Mukwonago as we get another look.
Well, he got him coming across the field, and he dumps it to him, and then number 6, Jeff Sharnick, got a really nice block, or Chase Sharnick got a nice block, and downfield and allowed him to get a few more yards.
Inside the 30 at the 29-yard line.
I would say now they're in field goal range. They'd have a shot at a field goal from this distance.
Fort, the lone man in the backfield. Blunt will roll to his right. With time, delivers, completes near the 10-yard line.
Dawson Hill.
Another first down.
Number 11, Dawson Hill, right there. Yep.
7 seconds to go in the half. Seward able to make the defensive stop.
One more play, and then if you don't score, you got to kick it.
And they'll just spike the ball here to stop the clock with 5 seconds to go. So they've reached the Kaplan University purple zone here with 5 seconds to go in the half, well within Milzer's field goal range. If you're head coach Rux and Jeff Trickey there, you're probably looking at trying to get in the end zone here.
Well, I know, yeah, that's a tough call, it really is. They're on the 12-yard line. They got enough time to run one quick play and get out of bounds.
Plus you have a timeout in your pocket.
They do have a timeout, but I don't know if you could get it called quick enough. They're going to try a field goal. I think that get it tied up and let's start over the second half even. But I think that's a good call.
This will be a 29-yard attempt from the right hash. Milzer, the place kicker. Good snap, ball down, plenty of distance. And it is good. We are tied at 10 at the half. 29-yard field goal by Milzer. Blunt did a nice job to get that one down on the snap by Austin Vetta. And the Wolverines tie this one up late here in the second quarter. We've reached halftime in Mukwonago. A Donnybrook, as Mike McGivern has called this one here tonight. 10-10 your score. Mukwonago and Waukesha West on Thursday Night Lights, presented by Wendy's. My 24's Thursday Night Lights halftime report, sponsored by Zero in Wisconsin, brought to you by the Wisconsin Department of Transportation. 10-10 your score. Mukwonago and Waukesha West tonight in Mukwonago. We head downstairs to Kara.
Hey guys, I'm standing here with Trooper Robert Simpson of the Wisconsin State Patrol. We've been hearing about the Zero in Wisconsin Safety Traffic Campaign. What can you tell me about it?
Basically, it's an educational campaign. What we emphasize is sober driving, wearing your seatbelt, and not driving while distracted. The big texting what's going on right now, no texting and driving, and wearing your seatbelt. The number one main goal is to have everyone buckle up when they get in the vehicle.
And I'm sure you guys encounter a lot of people on the roads that are kind of breaking all these rules.
Yeah, sometimes it's a slip of judgment. Normally, a lot of times people make the wrong choice, and when they make the wrong choice, they're going to have to deal with the consequences. A lot of times, if you're not wearing your seatbelt, the seatbelt prevents you from getting ejected out of a vehicle, and if you're ejected out of a vehicle, a lot of times it ends up in a severe injury or a lot of times fatalities, and that's what we want to reduce to zero in Wisconsin.
And now school is back in session. Is there any advice that you can give people around the area, any advice on how to avoid any injuries or safety on the road with school back in?
School back in, and the students who are driving to school, the number one thing is they got to remember to put that seatbelt on. The seatbelt is the main goal to keep themselves safe, protected, and alive. And don't text and drive.
Absolutely, and thank you for being here.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Well, Mukwonago scoring the first 10 points of our contest here tonight. Waukesha West coming right back with 10 unanswered themselves. We've got a tie ball game here at the half in Mukwonago. The Indians 10, the Wolverines 10. Thursday Night Lights, presented by Wendy's on My 24. My 24 Thursday Night Lights halftime report, sponsored by Zero in Wisconsin, brought to you by the Wisconsin Department of Transportation. We're tied at the half. Mukwonago and Waukesha West 10 apiece as we head back to the sidelines and Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, this is my pleasure. Kevin McCudden, 2010 graduate, right?
Oh yeah.
State champion Waukesha West Wolverines, went to Dubuque, transferred to Wisconsin. He's now a Wisconsin Badger. And you know, I'd love to talk Badger stuff, but I want to talk high school football.
Okay.
How much do you miss this stuff?
You know, I think about it all the time. Every time I run out the field for the Badgers, I actually honestly think about Friday Night Lights. I mean, there's nothing like it. The whole day leading up to it, being able to walk around with your jersey on, knowing you're having the pregame rituals with your friends and your best buds, you know, knowing that this is, you know, what you've been living for your whole, childhood. And so being able to come out on a night like this, knowing your family's up there cheering and, being able to give it your best because, you only got so many opportunities. So,
we talked a lot prior to coming on, and I told you I've coached kids in the past who haven't played their senior year or said, not that big of a deal. And they've always come back to me and said, Coach, I wish you would have tried harder, because once high school football is over, it becomes a job. College football is like a job for you.
Yes, it is. It is. You can definitely tell the difference once you get to college. It's more everyday kind of stuff. You got to watch film. You got to put in all that extra overtime is what we call it. And being able to, it's not just a show up thing after school. It's something that you live, breathe, and sleep, train. Everything is about football once you get to that next level. And, it doesn't take anything away from high school, but like you said, it becomes more of a job and kind of what you do, but that's why you love it.
Hey, we talked about the coaching staff over at Waukesha West with Coach Rux and Coach Tricky. man, these are really good, strong guys and people that have had a lot of influence on your life.
Yes, Coach Rux, Coach Strickey, Coach Beal, all those guys have, ever since I was a freshman, you look up to them as your role models, and because you're with them, for 4 years of your life. You don't have different coaching change. They're there every day, grinding with you, after practice, teaching you, during the school time a little bit, and they're trying to make you a better person for the rest of your life. They know that this is only just a brief period of our lives, but they know what happens in this 4 years really affects us down the road, and they do a great job of teaching us how to become men in the 4 years that we have them.
So in case you're wondering if Coach Trickey, Coach Ruggs done a good job, really? You kidding me? I've known Kevin McCudden for a long time, known his family, really proud of this young man, and I got to tell you what, a great ambassador for Waukesha West football. Kevin, thank you so much.
No problem. Great to see you.
You bet. Boys, back to you.
Kevin, Mike, thank you much. Glad to have Kevin back on the right side of the Mississippi River here playing for the Badgers. Here it's an exciting ball game tonight. 10-10 your score. As we said, Mukwonago 10 unanswered points to start the ball game. Wolverines 10 unanswered points here to end the first half. Let's try it one more time. Our great sponsor of Thursday Night Lights, First Bank Financial Center, with this nice message.
First Bank Financial Center is a local community bank serving Southeast Wisconsin since 1859. I'm Craig Kuba, Vice President of Retail Lending. To date, we have 11 branches serving 9 different communities in the greater Milwaukee area. If you live in one of these towns, you know we are actively involved in each of these communities we serve. In fact, 80% of our employees participate in volunteer activities for local organizations. We take pride in knowing each and every one of our customers. So whether you have a free checking account, a home mortgage, or a small business, the local bankers at First Bank Financial Center will take the time to know you. Our employees greet you by name, not an account number. The next time you're in the neighborhood, stop by and see for yourself why we believe First Bank Financial Center is a little different than other banks. We are the one bank, one resource for all your banking needs.
Wonderful Mukwonago tonight. 10-10 your score. Back with more in our halftime right after this on My 24. Halftime here in Mukwonago. Indians and Waukesha West knotted up at 10 apiece on our Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's, week number 3. We head back downstairs. Kara, what do you have for us?
Hey guys, I'm standing on the field with Scott Gillette representing FOMA, Friends of Mukwonago Athletics. Why don't you tell me a little bit about what FOMA is?
Sure. We're a subcommittee of the Mukwonago Booster Club. We formed earlier this year to raise money for our new Mukwonago Fitness Center, a 5,300 square foot state-of-the-art new fitness center at the high school that just opened before school started this year.
And you guys have a presence at all of the Mukwonago games, and you're doing a ton of fundraising that way. How can the community help out?
Sure. We have a huge event coming up that we planned for. It's on October 5th called FOMA Fest. It's a night out. It's adults. It's 21 and over. We have 2 bands playing, the Fly Banshees and the Boogeymen playing that night. 100% of the proceeds. We have live auction, food, raffles, everything taking place at the Kettle-Moraine Ranch.
That sounds great. Is there anything else that you guys have done or coming up in the near future in terms of your fundraising?
Sure. We've done tons of community things at the local Pick and Save. We've done things at the local bowling alley for fundraisers this whole year, and we're pretty close to reaching our goal.
And you're providing uniforms, equipment. What kind of stuff are you bringing for us?
Sure. Our focus mostly is that's why we broke a subcommittee of the Booster Club. We're a little bit more on the little bit larger ticket item, and that's our new fitness center. It wasn't the most inexpensive thing to build, but it's the newest in the conference.
I'm sure it sounds like you guys are doing a great deal for the community here.
Yep. Thank you.
And thank you. Back to you guys.
Kara, Scott, thank you both very much. 10-10 your score here at the half. Kind of a punch-counter-punch game here tonight so far, Dick. The Indians getting on top early, and then the Wolverines coming back late here in this first half.
Well, a game of momentum. There have been some Mukwonago's probably made more mistakes than he'd like to. Here's the play that really turned it around for Mukwonago, their second possession. Colton Williams down the sideline for 78 yards and was brought down on the 1 yard line, and they were able to punch it in here with Nixon keeping it for the touchdown. Followed the field goal that they got in their first possession. Here you can see Colton Blount dumping off to Tom McCudden early in the game, getting a good gain there. This is the touchdown, I believe. Elijah Fort bouncing out to the outside. just before the end of the in the second quarter. And then long drive here with less than a minute to go. This is a pass to Drew Rhodes. It's out of bounds, stopped the clock. They kicked the field goal. Ben Milzer is an outstanding punter and kicker and made that easily. And we've got ourselves a tie ball game here. The stats, about the way you would expect, I think, for Mukwonago. They're 165 yards rushing. For West, it's a little out of proportion to what they've been doing. Much more passing yards, almost 3-1 there. Penalties, 7 penalties didn't help Mukwonago, that's for sure. And I think in the second quarter it was won by West, in the first quarter won by Mukwonago. But right now it's an even-Steven game. I'm really looking forward to the second half. And if it comes down to a field goal at the end, they both are capable of making a long one. So that'll be interesting.
You know, you mentioned in the pregame no breakdowns on option responsibilities for that Waukesha West defense. After that first drive, they really nailed it down.
They did a better job. They still have some work to do, and I'm sure they've been talking about that during this halftime to get that quarterback stopped, make him turn that ball, pitch that ball and turn it into a sweep so they know where it ends up.
And Drew Rhodes stepping up here tonight at that flanker position. Dyson Chimura out with the ankle injury tonight. Was dressed but has not seen any action. So it's been Rhodes out there has been the primary target for Blunt.
Yeah, he and Sharnick are two outstanding receivers. Blount has been very impressive, and I look forward to watching him for the next couple of years. He's a very good quarterback. He's got some good players around him. They got an outstanding offensive line. They got the running back that can take the pressure off the quarterback, which is really important as well. And McCudden's a good blocker, but he's also that receiver in the flats that's been very effective.
It's an exciting game so far through one half. Tied at 10. Both teams starting to make their way back out for the start of our second half. Classic 8 conference opener, week 3 of the high school football season opening up tonight in Mukwonago. Tied at 10. Thursday Night Lights, presented by Wendy's. Classic 8 conference foes knotted at 10 apiece here through one half of play. John Weiser, Dick Basham, Mike McGivern, and Kara all with you tonight from Mukwonago. Good crowd on hand here tonight. As usual, the community turning out for this one here tonight. Indians and the Wolverines renewing their Classic 8 rivalry.
You see some of their younger youth league players. They have a very strong youth league here in Mukwonago. It's been part of their program for a long time.
Now we want to take this opportunity to thank the great folks at Economy Lift Rental for helping bring these great pictures to you tonight. They provided the scissors lift for us, our cameras this season. So for any aerial platform need, rental, sales, or service, give Mike or Sue a call at Economy Lift Rental, or you can visit them online at economylifts.com. Their phone number, 262-650-1882, or economylifts.com. Waukesha West, 2-0. Mukwonago, 2-0. West knocking off Brookfield East 23-7 in week 1. Routing New Berlin West last week, 39-12. Meanwhile, Mukwonago in a track meet with Horlick in week 1, 43-33 the final in that one. And then last week, a nail-biter, a game that was delayed nearly an hour and a half because of those storms that passed through southern Wisconsin late in the afternoon, early evening. They defeated Lake Geneva Badger 9-7 in Lake Geneva last week, Friday.
Well, it's going to be a very interesting second half. We've got two teams that are matched up really well. They both have had their way at times. We'll see what kind of adjustments the coaches made at halftime.
Get a look at Steve Rux there in the full sweatsuit there. Picked up his 101st win in his coaching career last week against New Berlin West.
You know, it's an interesting stat I saw in the Journal Sentinel that Waukesha West in the last 10 years has won as many games in that conference as any other team. Arrowhead, they might be tied with Arrowhead, but those two teams have won more games in the last 10 years than anybody else, and I'm talking football. in Classic 8 conference. It's a very good conference. We're going to have 2 more games. We have at the end of the month we have Arrowhead and Waukesha West on a Friday night, and then we have Waukesha North against Waukesha South also and both of those teams are off to a good start as well. So it's going to be an interesting battle with Arrowhead losing last week in a non-conference game to Homestead, which I think was a little bit of a surprise, but if you know both teams, you know that they're both capable of winning in any given weekend. So we'll see how it plays out and how Arrowhead responds from that loss.
Thursday Night Lights, presented by Wendy's, is available streaming live online. Log on to my24milwaukee.com. Click on the Thursday Night Lights link. You can also find complete game videos. Paul Fick's doing his best to get those photos up as we speak from tonight's game and all season long. That's my24milwaukee.com. Clay Iverson, final word to his team as they get set to start our second half. Great to have you with us tonight. Week 3 of the high school football season. Hard to believe we're a third of the way through the regular season.
Yeah. Time flies when you're having fun.
And this is
fun.
This is fun. You got it. When you get games like this, it gets no better.
Exactly. You want to see what the coaches are going to come up with. You know, there's a limit to what they can do, but they have a few tricks in their pocket, I'm sure, and they may have to pull a few of them out tonight because it's a very even Steven game.
Real quick before the kickoff, we head downstairs to Mike McGivern.
Hey, boys, listening to the Mukwonago coaching staff, the defensive coaches, again, talking about look at the eyes of the quarterback, talking about wrapping up and 3 and out. Really, really important. Talking about getting 3 and out and then driving the length of the field. Really thinking this first possession is going to set the tone is what Coach Iverson keeps talking about for the whole second half.
Both coaches probably saying that too, as want to establish something here early.
Well, you want to win that third quarter, especially in a game which is even.
Mukwonago will kick off to start this second half, and this will be Sharnick. Out across his 20, stumbles forward out to the 24-yard line. Really tried to make an extra move and may have lost his footing. Again, natural turf field, getting a little damp out there. It might be a little bit slick, and Sharnick went down.
Well, I'll give you my opinion. I think he was looking at number 47 right in the eye, and he said, I might as well go down and make it easy on myself.
47 being Dominic Cizauskas. So the West offense, Connor Blunt. Quarterback, sophomore, Fort and McCudden. The running tandem, Fort the tailback, has 1 touchdown tonight. And he'll get the call, first play, third quarter. High steps across the 25, short of the 27-yard line before he is driven back there.
Nice little cutback. That jumping into the air is not necessarily a good idea, but he's a high flyer, so we'll give him the credit on that.
Right into the arms of Cizauskas that time, who made the tackle. Jake Krieger with a nice night tonight defensively. 9 tackles in that first half.
Yeah, right.
The other linebacker on defense for the Indians.
Now Dylan Ulrich also has 5 tackles, broke up a pass.
2nd and 6. Play action fake. Blunt with plenty of time. Comes back near side. High throw. Ball's tipped, incomplete. Looking for Rhodes here on the near side. Thrown high, got a hand on it. That was a pickable ball that time. Schiffrel back there, nearly a gift for the Indians.
Well, that was a pick in the making right there. A little bit back on his back foot, and the ball sails on him. It was also a little bit late on the throw. Could have been thrown a little bit quicker, but it was there, and he got away with it.
3rd and 6 upcoming for Waukesha West. First possession, third quarter. Blunt from the gun. Fort the single back. Blunt on the roll. Steps up, delivers. Nice. Man wide open. It's Sharnick inside the 30. Breaks a tackle. He'll take it all the way in. Sharnick for the touchdown. Waukesha West gets their first lead. Chase Sharnick, the 6'3 junior, a 2-year starter. 3 touchdown receptions last year, his first touchdown reception of the year on this play.
Well, just a little rollout to the left. He's looking on the field. You see him get his feet set. Doesn't just threw it right to him. He didn't try to lead him. That when you have a guy that open, you make sure he has something he can catch. he makes the move. He's a good athlete, and there's the power of the pass. Again, I have to say I'm impressed by Connor Blount and how he manages the game.
The extra point is up, and it is good. The Wolverines take their first lead tonight. Third play from scrimmage in this third quarter. Huge play that time. Blunt to Chase Sharnick. First touchdown reception of the year for Chase Sharnick, the split end.
I think what Clay Iverson's going to say to his defense, we need to get somebody into the face of the quarterback. We need to get him to stop and pull up, get some pressure on him. If you're going to give him that kind of time, it's too big a field, I think, for them to cover. And they're in a too deep coverage, which is also a little bit vulnerable to the deep pass.
17 unanswered points now for the Wolverines, and they take their first lead. 1 minute into our third quarter here tonight. There's a look at the junior. 73-yard touchdown reception.
He's had a good night.
Gets a nice high five from his quarterback, Connor Blunt. Clay Iverson working the sideline here below us, trying to pump his team back up.
Well, they're not going to go away, I can tell you that right now. We know Mukwonago and the type of players and coaches that they have, so they'll be back. They got two guys back there that can run it all the way for a touchdown, too, that's for sure.
Haar and Szauskas inside the 10-yard line. Milzer to do the kicking.
Little pooch kick, yeah.
Little short punt. Taken by one of the short backs up top for the Indians. That was Matthew Strickler. Strickler listed as a linebacker, 5'9" junior. Able to camp under that one. So a short kickoff eliminates the run back. They'll spot it at the 30-yard line, just short of the 30-yard line for Mukwonago. Aaron Nixon and that flexbone offense taking the field. Strzezuski, Madden, and Timmers, your running backs. Johnson, the tight end. As Nixon will get them set. Nixon coming around the edge. Had Szauskas out there, opted to keep it. Takes it out near the 35-yard line. Aaron Nixon, the 6-foot senior quarterback. Brad Getz on the tackle, a 250-pound junior for the Wolverines.
Well, they did a better job of stringing that out and keeping it going sideways.
He's in for Grabo here to start this second half. Pickup of about 6 sets up 2nd and 4. And Szauskas in motion.
Yes.
Nixon wants to pass, and down he goes. Back inside the 30-yard line. Wolverines were not fooled on that play. Brett Rux, 6'3", 255-pound senior, part of that 2-year starting core up front for the Wolverines.
First time we've called his name tonight, I think, and that's just what they needed. He was in the backfield, and just as Nixon turned around, they had no chance to evade him.
Rux goes by the name of R-U-C-K-S as opposed to his head coach, R-U-X. Brett Rux, the senior, with the sack. 3rd and 10 now for Mukwonago. Szauskas in motion. Play action. Nixon wants to throw under pressure. Doesn't make it to the line of scrimmage. Once again, Rux was there.
He was
got
trying
flushed
to throw
out
it back.
that time. Yes, he did. He was going to try and throw it to one of his backs, but the pressure immediately that time. Ian Howden, I think, got in there as we take another look.
Yeah, he was rolling to the left. I think he was going to maybe look back to Strzezuski, or he also had a deep receiver over the middle who was very well covered, so forced the punt here.
Marcus Kelly also on the pressure that time. Timmers to punt.
West needs to get up and catch this ball if it's catchable. Uh-oh.
Through the hands of Timmers.
It's
It's loose, and he's down. Back near the 10-yard line. A bad snap. The long snapper is the long snapper is Alex Straszewski, and that ball never got back there. Nick Radloff able to cover up the punter Timmers.
Now that's huge. It was a low snap, and he just didn't quite get his hands underneath it. And you can't put your knee down because then you're called down to stop it.
They'll spot it at the 8 in an early entry into the purple zone here in this third quarter for Waukesha West. Our purple zone being brought to you by Kaplan University, a different school of thought. Huge break, first turnover of the ball game. Fort up the left side, still on his feet, driven back just short of the goal line. Sazowskis and company there for the Indians.
Well, Ford is not the biggest guy, but he really takes it up in there. He does not back down from anybody. I'm really impressed by that young man, I'll tell you.
5'9", 170-pound senior, averages 8.5 yards per carry.
If he can stay healthy for the year, this is going to be a very interesting team, because the passing game that they have and the running game they have, that's tough to defense everything.
6-yard pickup, 2nd and goal from the 2.
Now they
Quick
jumped
set.
into a power eye there.
And McCudden will take it in for the score. Tom McCudden in for the touchdown. The fullback brought down by Sazowskis. But the Waukesha West Wolverines capitalize on the poor snap on the punt and increase their lead. Milzer for the extra point. Drills it through. 24 unanswered points by Waukesha West. The fullback out of the power eye, McCudden, in for 6.
Looks like a rugby scrum, and they just line everybody up in there and man on man, see who wins.
It's a second rushing touchdown, I should say, for McCudden this year.
Well, now this is a character check right here. They've had it stuffed down their throat after that miscue, and they had the long pass. They need to get control of the game now for a while and reestablish themselves.
Well, time for you at home to tackle the Kaplan University Trivia Challenge. Text KAPLAN, Kaplan, to 58447 to play for a chance to win a Kindle Fire. A message and data rates may apply. You'll receive 2 messages with a trivia question and answer. Text HELP, HELP for help. Mobile privacy policy and terms and conditions available on my24milwaukee.com. First 4 minutes of this third quarter dominated by Waukesha West. Saw Clay Iverson talking to his troops, trying to keep them up here. A lot of ball game left here in Mukwonago tonight. Milzer again short. And again, this time it's bobbled. Ball's loose out near the 35-yard line. Strickler again out there, the short man, and he comes up with it.
Well, he came up with it. It looked to me like he was going to catch it and possibly toss it back to Sazowskis. I might be dreaming a little bit, but he looked like he was trying to catch it and toss it, and he just lost the handle on it.
McCudden's 2-yard run, capping off that 2-play drive, courtesy of that muffed snap on the punt. And Steve Rucks and company in control here early in this second half. Aaron Nixon back out offensively here for the Indians. And he'll take it straight ahead. Good surge that time by the offensive line out to the 39-yard line. Aaron Nixon just following his center, Mitch Geisler. Straight ahead for 5. Brett Rucks again on the stop.
I think that might be a message right there that we're just going to line up and try to run it straight ahead here for a while, see if they can stop us.
2nd and 5.
You got Sazowskis at fullback, and that's the kind of player he is.
He'll get it. Sazowskis breaking tackles across the 45 out to the 49-yard line. Gain of about 10, but a penalty marker on the play. Konowalski making the tackle. This may be coming back. It was thrown at the snap.
A little bit of movement, yeah. I thought they
double shift.
Yeah.
2 men in motion. That's the 8th penalty tonight on the Indians. We take another look.
Oh yeah, both backs moved. Yeah.
Yep.
The one who was supposed to go into motion, and the other one who wasn't sure. But there you get a look at Dominic Sazowskis. He is a beast when it comes to running the football, and I think that's the message right here.
You see working on that long snap on that sideline. That's the difference here. Breaking tackles coming out the near side. Williams, Colton Williams down the near sideline. Colton Williams brought down from behind out of bounds at the 24-yard line of the Wolverines. Nick Radloff able to chase him down from behind.
Well, he broke a tackle. That's just reminiscent of the first quarter when West was missing tackles. They had him right here. Marcus Kelly had a shot at him, but he couldn't quite close the deal. He was being blocked at the time.
45 yards and a first bank first down here for Mukwonago. Nixon wants to throw, now under pressure. Going to try and deliver it, and does. Incomplete. Boy, a dangerous pass there on the run in double coverage. Lucky his receiver was able to battle it down. Radloff there to play defensively that time.
Well, he tried to throw that little flat pass that they've used a couple times on first down, and West was able to put some pressure on him, get their hands up, and he backed off on it and came back to his second alternate receiver, and it's pretty well defended.
Jeff Johnson, the tight end, the intended target there. Second down, 10. All at the 24-yard line. Sazowskis, just bowling ball right through the line that time, inside the 20, down to the 16-yard line. Brought down by Radloff and Rux. And a gain of 7 on the play sets up third and short here for Mukwonago.
Well, Ian Howden had a shot at him early on the line of scrimmage, but Ian's 6 feet, 195 pounds, and that doesn't match up well with a 250-pound sprinter.
Third and 4. Sazowskis, the fullback, will get the call once again. Carries the ball forward inside the 15, driven back there, very close to an Indian first down.
I have to measure this one.
Brad Getz and Ian Howden making the stop. They'll eyeball it here, and
I'm going to measure it.
They'll bring the chains in from the far side. Well, that big play, that 45-yard pickup by Williams here is
that's what they
brought
needed.
His team back up again
exactly.
here now.
That's exactly what they needed to get back in the game. Somebody, something to hang their head on, and now they've got the power team out there with the big fullback, and 4 yards to get 10 yards with a 250-pound fullback. It kind of puts the odds, I think, in Mukwonago's favor.
It'll be a First Bank first down. Again, thank you to First Bank Financial Center, our first down sponsor this season. First Bank Financial Center, one bank, one resource. Keeps the drive moving here for the Indians. Spot the ball at the 13-yard line. Wishbone look here. Sazowskis, the fullback. He'll get the call. Left side. Down to about the 10-yard line before he is stacked up. All power football right now for Clay Iverson. Marcus Kelly, the defensive end, in on the stop.
Just straight ahead power football. You can see wedge blocking. He falls forward for a couple extra yards.
Gain of 4, second and 6. Officials holding things up here momentarily. Now we'll wind it down. Midway through our third quarter, Mukwonago trying to answer here. Down 2 scores. Nixon will keep it. Cuts it upfield. Nixon to the 5, down to the 3, falls forward to the 2-yard line. Aaron Nixon, good hard run that time up the right side. Konowalski able to get the final stop. And it'll set up a 1st and goal here for the Indians. Good tough run that time by the quarterback, Nixon.
One thing about faking the ball to Sazowskis, he cleans that.
Yeah.
Not only do they have the lineman up there, then he helps clean that up, and he just follows that block.
1st and goal from the 2. Sazowskis. Touchdown, Mukwonago. Dominic Sazowskis, the 250-pound senior, his 2nd touchdown run of the year.
Well, there's a preview of how this game is going to go, I think, the rest of the night. It's going to be smash mouth, I think, from Mukwonago, and you're probably going to see a little bit more of a passing game from mixed up with a few runs with Elijah Fort from Waukesha West. Should make for an interesting finish here.
They'll kick the extra point. Timmers, Nixon on the hole to the uprights and through. 24-17. We will take our break. 5.5 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. We've got ourselves a hot one tonight in Mukwonago. Waukesha West up by 7. Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's. The Indians answer. After the Wolverines post 24 unanswered points, they've cut the deficit to 7 here in this 3rd quarter. John Weiser, Dick Basham, Mike McGivern, and Kara with you tonight from Mukwonago. Timmers with the run-up and the kick. It'll be short. Fort will take it across the 20. Out to the 25-yard line. That's where the Wolverines will get it as we head back downstairs to Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, here with Dr. V. He's the team doctor for Mukwonago. His wife Carrie, Mukwonago grad, pretty cool. Hey Doc, you guys at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin have a great thing on Saturday mornings. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, on Saturday mornings we have a injury clinic that's held at Brookfield at our after-hours clinic. The main goal is for any of the football players who get injured on Friday nights to come on in on Saturday, and we'll check them out and see what's going on.
You know what, Southern California guy moved to Wisconsin. You got to love Carrie from Mukwonago. That got you here, Doc. Thanks a lot. Back to you, boys.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. Fort trying to bounce it outside, gets to the 30-yard line, met and driven down there. Short gain for Elijah Fort, the senior. Sazowskis, who scored the touchdown, back out there defensively to make the tackle.
Those 2 linebackers, you see them right there. Krieger and Sazowskis, you won't find 2, I can tell you right now, you will not find 2 better linebackers on the same team in Wisconsin this year. Those guys they run and hit.
8-play drive, the big play, the 45-yarder, to set them up inside the purple zone. It's time to run the jet sweep.
Yes, Rhodes.
Drew Rhodes coming around the right side, should have enough for a First Bank first down. Ben Nichols there to make the stop for Mukwonago.
And that shows you the abilities of Drew Rhodes. You know, he's backup quarterback, wide receiver, running back.
Filling in for Dyson Chimura tonight.
Right, he's playing more on offense because Chimura is out. And
you're just joining us, Chimura, ankle sprain, held out of the game here tonight. Should be ready to go next week. Blunt from the gun. Near side. Rhodes again, and he is flattened as he made that catch. Austin Seward, the junior outside linebacker here on the near side, had that play read for no gain.
Yeah, he was pretty much leveled on, erased, I guess would be the term on this one. On the money, couldn't quite, wanted to juke him a little bit, but couldn't get his footing.
Actually came off. He was covering Sharnick that time,
Yeah.
read the quarterback's eyes. You heard Mike talk about that, Clay Iverson pointing that out. Read Blunt's eyes, go to the ball. 2nd and 10. Fort the lone back, twins left and right. And whistle will blow the play dead here.
Delay a game.
It is a delay of game. The back judge throwing the flag. He the keeper of time on that play clock tonight. And that was Randy Cole, our back judge. While they step this one off against Waukesha West, we want to remind you a suspended lawyer is forced to enroll in a community college with a wacky staff and student body. Don't miss Community. That'll be weeknights 9 and 9:30 starting September 16th right here on My 24. 2nd and 15. Again, they'll go twins left and right. They'll roll Blunt with time. Throws, completes out in the flat. Nice catch out there. Once again, Chase Sharnick with the catch. Ulrich on the stop. They get the penalty back and more on that toss to the outside to Sharnick.
Well, they run that little high-low route out there. One man does the out, and the inside man is running a corner route behind it, trying to put the defensive man in a bind, and it's thrown right on time. It was well defended, but the ball was thrown perfectly and right on time.
12-yard pickup sets up 3rd and 3 for the Wolverines, just shy of their own 45-yard line. Rhodes out here to the near side. They're going to run a little option here. Blunt nowhere to go, and down he goes. Big play there. Krieger once again and Sizowskis. And Blunt a little slow getting up. Not sure if how that was designed here.
Well, the snap ruined the timing. He panicked a little bit. I think he could have pitched it to Fort possibly, but he decided to keep it. And that was the result.
Looked like Krieger on a blitz that time, coming on his right side. He saw him coming, and with the high snap, that really messed up the timing.
Well, the important thing is he didn't try to make a bad play into a great play, and they'll punt, and hopefully their defense can make some plays.
Whistle again. Too much time.
Another delay of game. Wow.
That's back-to-back on this drive. Delay of game penalties against the Wolverines. So move Krieger up 5 more yards. He'll stand out near his own 25.
Doesn't seem like they're taking that long, but I guess they are. We'll keep an eye on that.
Get a look at that Mukwonago sideline.
Well, Coach Ruck says that Milzer's the best punter he's ever coached. Oh, that's a movement there.
Marker down. Krieger will let this one bounce. Slips and will get away from it.
I think they're going to make him punt again because there was a man in motion.
They rolled dead near the 15-yard line, but again, penalty marker at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I think he actually should have blown the whistle right away because it was a...
Todd A. Hall, our referee tonight, a busy man. Washing penalty flags when they get home tonight.
Yeah. Now that'll put it at 4th and 12. That's probably going to make a 15, 20-yard difference here in where Mukwonago gets the ball. They would have had it at about the...
Now we got an official waving it off over there. Let's see.
Oh,
they're going to wave it off, so Mukwonago will get the ball back at their 15-yard line. That'll drive a coach nuts, as you know, because the flag was thrown, so somebody saw something. And
well, somebody definitely moved. I thought there should have been a flag. I don't understand how they waved that off. But I guess that's why I'm up here.
Be sure to listen to Wendy's Varsity Blitz High School Football Coaches Show. That's every Saturday morning, 10 to noon. Mike McGivern and Joe Cook talk to some of the best coaches in the area. This week's guest is Bill Jacklin from Slinger High School. Saturday at 10 on Sports Radio 1250 WSSP. Nixon pump fakes, the hitch and go, coming here near side, ball in the air, well overthrown, incomplete. Looking for Dane McDermott, flying down the sideline on the hitch and go. Alex Androsky on the coverage.
Well, they went down and out, down, and he initially had position on Androsky, but Androsky made up the difference by the time the ball was there. It would have been had to take a perfect throw to make that work, and that wasn't going to happen.
2nd and 10 for Mukwonago. They trail by 7 here late third quarter. Nixon down the line will pitch it. Williams, not much there. Colton Williams has had a couple of big gains tonight. Brought down by Ben Milzer, kicker and the starting cornerback here for the Wolverines. Short gain of 2.
Yeah, they had much better. They're getting much better flow to the outside now, and on that option, and getting it stretched out, not letting it turn up.
McDermott in for Jeremy Harr at a split end here on 3rd and long for Mukwonago. Wagner, the flanker, lined up in a slot here to the near side. And the give coming around the near side. This is Colton Williams again out across the 25, out to the 27-yard line. Should have enough for a first down. Gain of about 9 on the play. Cody Kujawa there on the tackle.
Well, Colton Williams has really made a difference in this game tonight. With his, he seems to have that burst of speed that they need to get to the outside, and that's exactly what happened there.
Another first bank first down here for Mukwonago. Under a minute to go here, third quarter. 7-point ball game. Nixon on the option. He'll keep it. Runs right into the corner here. Milzer on the near side. Ran right to him. And being the 3.75 student that Milzer is, he knew exactly what to do.
Well, I tell you what made that play successful was a good block by Colton Williams on David Konowalski. Yeah, he was had the quarterback, and he was able to block him and get him off the line of scrimmage and allow Nixon to turn up the field.
Just shy of the 37-yard line. Steve Rux, head coach for Waukesha West. 2nd and 2. Fake it inside, give it to the wing coming around the outside. And we stop near the first down. Zach Timmers on the carry. Brett Rux with the tackle, and that will be enough for another first down. And that will most likely end our quarter here. So wind it down, and our third quarter comes to an end. Quite a ball game tonight in the Classic 8. Waukesha West up by 7. Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's. As advertised, a classic tonight in Mukwonago. 24-17, Waukesha West. 24 unanswered points for the Wolverines, but the Indians, with a touchdown in that third quarter, have cut it to 7 and are on the move once again, 1st and 10 from their own 40. John Weiser, Dick Basham, Mike McGivern, and Kara tonight from Mukwonago as Nixon, the quarterback, breaking tackles out near midfield, a gain of 11 and another first down. Aaron Nixon, the quarterback, bouncing off tackles for a 10-yard pickup. Brad Getz finally brought him down.
Well, that was a little follow play where he faked to the fullback and just followed him right up the field, and that fullback is Sazowskis, so he goes right in behind him.
Kind of the SOS pad there, scouring out the defense and giving Nixon the room.
And that wasn't intended to be an option. That was just a quarterback keeper all the way.
From midfield, Nixon on the keep once again. Up the middle to the 45 of the Wolverines. Gain of about 5 on the play.
Now they're using Sazowskis more as a decoy now because they had him stopped in his tracks in the backfield, but Nixon read that well and kept it. You see good movement on that offensive line.
Sam Hippis, the sophomore inside linebacker. 3rd ranked in his class, a 4.1 student in that sophomore class. 2nd and 5. Nixon wants to throw. Intercepted. Pick 6 the other way.
Yeah.
Back coming with it for the Wolverines. Androsky, touchdown, Waukesha West.
Well, they went to the well. Went to the well one too many times, and that's the 4th time at least that they've tried to run that play. Twice it was successful. Once they had to pull it down and run. This time he threw it, and it went the other way.
Alex Androsky, a 2-year starter in that secondary for the Wolverines. Pick 6 into the house. The Wolverines back up by 2 scores.
And you got to give Androsky credit. He's been watching that play. He read it. They ran it in the situation where they like to run it, and he took advantage of it. That's a sign of a good player, a well-coached player, and that really hurts Mukwonago, although they still have time to get back in it, but they can't make any more mistakes.
Milzer tacks on the extra point. Jeremy Harr was the intended receiver on that play, and Androsky, as you said, being patient, went to school tonight defensively and read it all the way.
He broke on that thing as soon as it was thrown. He didn't even look at the receiver. He just ran right to the ball. Great play.
55 yards into the end zone for the touchdown, and Waukesha West back up 31-17.
That's that senior experience. He was a starter last year as a junior, and probably took his lumps a little bit last year. But that's what happens when you have some experience. You learn during the game and make a play.
So all that momentum.
Yeah, they did have momentum.
Yeah, the Wolverines were starting to get it going offensively, and then really their second turnover tonight. They had that muffed snap on the punt that set up the Wolverines' first and goal at the 8-yard line back in the second quarter, and now the interception thrown by Nixon. It's his first interception thrown this year.
Well, there's almost 11 minutes left in the game, so there's plenty of time to get back in it. But they've got to make plays and to get the ball back on defense. The defense has got to get 3 and out.
Now
they can't let Waukesha run the clock out.
Milzer's been doing a little pop-up kicks here.
Now they're switching places. You can see right here. He's going
deep.
He's
going to kick it deep.
Yeah.
And it's going to carry into the end zone.
It's in the end zone.
That'll be an automatic touchback through the back of the end zone. And so the Indians will get it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
And Zazauskas was going to switch places, and I think Milzer saw that, so he said, I think I'll just put it in the end zone, and he did.
Steve Rux, head football coach at Waukesha West, 101 victories. Yeah. Add that plus a couple of state titles.
Great guy. His style of coaching is more cerebral, I think. He expects a lot out of his players. Their numbers are down a little bit. I was talking to him about that. He said some kids just don't want to come out and work this hard anymore. They want to play right away and all that. It's just not the way it works. You got to earn your way on the field. But they have enough players to win a lot of games, that's for sure.
Nixon trying to run option, nothing doing. The Wolverines string it out. Good work up front once again by the defensive line. Konowalski. You talk about football IQ.
Yeah
David Konowalski.
I coached against his dad a few times when they had Michael Bennett, who might remember that name, played for the Badgers, played for the Vikings. Only thing we did is keep him running sideways, and he didn't hurt us that way.
Loss of 2, 2nd and 12 for Mukwonago at their own 18. Again, Nixon wants to try and go up the middle. He'll be stopped just across the 20, got those 2 yards back. Well, that was the play that set up that touchdown drive, Dick. We were talking about that. That first play, he just took it 5 yards right up the middle. That kind of was the signal there that Clay Iverson was going to just
ready or not. Right.
We're just going to power football you here on this drive, and
I'm not sure they can win the game that way now, though. I don't know if they have enough time to do that down the field without getting breaking a big run in here. We'll have to see if they've got something they can pull out of their hat.
There's his numbers for the night: 19 yards passing, 1 interception.
I'll throw it right here.
He looks to go over the middle in traffic. Ball is caught and hung on at the 32-yard line for a first down. Nice catch there between Konowalski and Hippish that time on the receiving end.
I think was that Timmers that caught that?
Yeah, it looked like Timmers.
30.
Or was it Williams, Colton Williams? We'll have another look.
Something. Take a look at it here. It's just a quick throw over the middle. And right in between 2 defenders. Very nice catch, and that looks like either Williams or
it's a huge
Timmers, can't tell.
First bank first down at the 31-yard line for Mukwonago. Again, Nixon trying to pick his way across the left side, and he is stacked up near the 34-yard line and driven back there. A whole host of Wolverines. Good assignment football that time defensively up front.
It's starting to boil down to the Hogs in the line a little bit here now. And the Waukesha West is able to hang in there.
Again, a reminder, Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's, streaming live online. Log on to my24milwaukee.com. Click on our Thursday Night Lights link. You can find complete game videos, photos from this season's games, and more. That's my24milwaukee.com. 2nd and 6. Ball just across their own 35-yard line. Nixon again on the option keep, trying to go up the middle, short gain.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of forcing him to turn up now and turning this play into a quarterback dive and not not letting it get to the pitch situation.
Marcus Kelly and Ian Houndon on the stop. Sets up 3rd and long here for Mukwonago. They trail by 14. Haar lined up here on the near side as a split end. Timmers in motion. Nixon rolling out. Wants to dump it off. Szyzowskis makes the catch. Breaks the tackle. He'll take it all the way. 25-20 to the 10 to the 5. Touchdown Mukwonago.
Well, that's exactly what they needed.
Dominic Szyzowskis, 2nd touchdown of the game. We'll have another look here as he broke 2 tackles on a bobbled snap. The timing meshed, but Szyzowskis bailed him out.
Milzer had a shot at him, couldn't bring him down. And once he got by Milzer, why, it was all over. Nice block by Ryan Wagner there to also help him get it loose.
You cannot bring him down with an arm tackle.
That's if I was Mukwonago, I'd make sure that guy got the ball in his hands as many times as they could the rest of the game.
Timmers for the extra point. Up and through. 7:48 to go. 31-24. So we get another look. Not going to bring him down high.
No, not going to bring him down that way. That was probably not Ben Milzer's best effort, but I don't know if it would have mattered anyway.
Clay Iverson working with his offense.
Well, now it's up to Waukesha West offense to take the ball, run some clock, get some movement. They need more points. I don't think they have enough points to win now. They're going to need more points.
Well, it goes back to one of your keys to the game here tonight for Waukesha West, and that be successful on first down.
Yeah,
this is where it comes down to.
So they have a quarterback who can get them first downs here and there passing, but they need to get the ball to Fort and McCudden. I think McCudden also could be a factor in this game as it goes on now because he's a very good receiver in the flat. They haven't done that yet this half, and they haven't handed him the ball that much, and I think he's a pretty good runner.
Timmers will do the kicking. Straight away, angles it to the side. Is that going to get to the end zone or go out of bounds? And it just went out of bounds in front of the pylon. Tough break. Trying to angle that kick to the pylon, and it went out at the 2.
Get it at the 35-yard line. That's a good situation for West. They're not backed up.
Ball will be placed at the 40-yard line, 35-yard line.
6 plays, 80 yards. The 64-yard touchdown reception by Szyzowskis. Is that true? Terry Kelly giving us a note here. He says that the track coach says Szyzowskis can dunk from a standing position.
Can. I was told he has a 42-inch vertical jump.
Gary Anderson getting a prize recruit there as Fort on the carry, moving the pile out across the 40-yard line out to the 42. Good strong run on first bank first down for Fort.
Well, you know, he's a kid who can play a lot of positions. He could be he's a little bit short, but he could be a great tight end. He definitely could play fullback.
This might be a break here from Mukwonago. Looked like a little equipment problem for Fort with that helmet, but they got it figured out. I thought perhaps he'd have to leave for a play.
Yeah.
And you got McCudden at the fullback, Fort the tailback. Sharnick split out here the near side. And the pitch goes to Fort. Working that left edge. Fort trying to get outside. Will get the first down out near the 47-yard line. Gain of about 6 on the play. Derek Schiffrel, the corner on that far side, brings him down.
Good job by Dave Konowalski sealing off Szyzowskis. He was going to blitz on the outside edge. He was able to step out and cut him off, and he couldn't get to the play. And Fort, with his speed, was able to get outside and get enough for the first down.
That's what you want here. Also playing field position here. If they get this ball across midfield, if they don't score, at least you flip that field and force Mukwonago to go long.
And the clock is running right now, so And Mukwonago needs time.
Rhodes in a slot here to the near side along with Sharnick. And it's Fort again. Battles his way forward near midfield. Schifferl again on the stop for the Indians.
Just a very workmanlike drive here. Staying on, they only got maybe 3 yards in that first down. They're still on schedule to get a first down in 3 downs if they get about 4 or 5 yards here on this play.
Schifferl split left, Rhodes to the right. They'll toss it on the sweep to Fort. Fort brought down and behind the line of scrimmage. Good play. Nice read by Hartung. Matt Hartung that time.
Right, he did a great job. He skated, kept the blocker on his inside, skated to the outside, forced Fort to cut it back in, and was able to make the play. Now this is a big play right here. It's a matter of who's going to get the ball, whether West is going to keep it or they're going to have to give it back to Mukwonago.
3rd and long for the Wolverines. We'll call it 3rd and 7 from their own 49. Clock rolling, 5:20 to go.
This might be McCudden in the flat. Although, he's not in the game, so there won't be that.
We'll go with 3 receivers. They have the slot man to the left, and we've got a timeout. Waukesha West will take a timeout. We'll take it with them. 5:11 to play. It's a 7-point ball game. Week 3 of the high school football season underway in Mukwonago. Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's. Seven-point ball game here. As we move through our 4th quarter, we head down to the sideline and Mike McGivern.
Hey guys, listen to the Mukwonago offensive coaches. They're going to try a little wrinkle. They're going to put motion going one side. They're going to try to get Dominic the ball now to the outside. So next time they get the ball, watch for that. Try to get him on the edge and watch him go.
All right, we'll keep an eye on it, Mike. Thank you very much. 3rd and long here for the Wolverines. Blunt out of the gun. 2 receivers each side. Under pressure, Blunt. Protection breaks down, just throws it away incomplete. Penalty marker down.
No, receiver
receiver was right here, Konowalski. And there's also a flag back here at the 45-yard line just below us. Intentional grounding. But there was a receiver right here, Konowalski, it looked like.
Yeah, there definitely was a receiver there. And I think that official panicked a little bit on that throw. I'm
not so sure. If we can get another look, there was a receiver in the neighborhood. I want to say it was the tight end, David Konowalski.
Yeah, it was.
It was thrown low. He was under some pressure and throwing on the run. And that's what they're going to call intentional grounding, which is also a loss of down here to bring up 4th down.
I would, if I was the coach
more
on
look
this side,
here,
I would disagree with it right here.
We might get a good
They're
shot
getting
here.
flushed out right here.
You see Konowalski standing there, and like I said, he was throwing on the run, being chased out of there by Hartung.
Well, the official, it's interesting. He threw the flag and he turned and looked right at Konowalski. And I would really disagree with that. Unfortunately, it's hopefully it won't affect the outcome of the game, but we'll see.
Yep. You have one of the best punters in the high school football, Ben Milzer.
He needs to get one of his best punts here, too.
Low snap. Blocked!
Guess who?
Ball is blocked. It'll roll out of bounds. Szyzowskis again.
Yes.
Stepping up with the block up the middle, and Mukwonago is in business here late. 5 minutes to go in our ball game, and a block punt by Dominic Szyzowskis. 2 touchdowns tonight, and now a block punt.
Came right from the left edge over here. You can see him. Went right by Kelly and was able to block the kick. I guess I'm really not surprised. If there's a person in the state of Wisconsin who can take over a football game, I think Dominic Szyzowskis is. He just has superior athletic ability and he has superior size, and that's in a high school situation, that is a...
he takes the field here. No, he does not. He will come off.
Yeah, he came off.
We'll see what they do here. 2 receivers lined up right side. Nixon going to keep it, but nothing doing. Wrapped up immediately by Nick Radloff Radloff, the inside linebacker, one of those 2-year starters again on defense for the Wolverines. No gain on the play, 2nd down and 10. Clock rolling. Approaching 4.5 minutes to go in a 7-point game.
Well, I said earlier I would get the ball to number 47. And one play that if they have something to get him to the outside, and now they've lined him up deeper, toss it to him and let him run.
That's exactly what they do. Sazowski's trying to get to the outside, but
Nice
nothing
play.
doing. Marcus Kelly,
Kelly.
the defensive end there right in his face as he took that pitch, the junior. 6'4", 230 pounds, wrestling Sazowskis down to the ground for no gain.
And I'm not saying he can't be tackled. He certainly can be tackled, but the longer he runs and the faster he gets going, the harder he is to bring down. If they get on him early, then that works in the defense's favor. Excellent play by Marcus Kelly there because he had a pretty good stiff arm in his face.
Big 3rd down here. 3rd and 10 from the 20. This will be Nixon trying to get the edge. Nixon moving the pile forward down near the 10-yard line. Awfully close.
Yeah, this is going to be hard to stop him now unless they make a mistake.
They fake the handoff to Sazowskis, then work the option to the outside, short end of the field, and Nixon, with a gain of 9, sets up a 4th and 1.
Yeah, this is a big play, obviously.
Marcus Kelly credited with the tackle. Well, here we go. 4th and 1 from the 11-yard line. Tight splits across the front. Nixon in under center.
Power eye, give it to the big guy. I don't know.
And it's awfully close. Waukesha West saying they may have stopped him. No official signal yet.
Depends on whether it's a right or left foot of the official, I think.
Very, very close, though, given the first down. Sazowskis able to pick up the first down. It'll be 1st and goal in the purple zone here.
Yeah, they got a good push.
For Mukwonago. Yes, they did.
Yeah, the left side of the line for Mukwonago is Tom Stengel, Robert Cracklow, and the center Mitch Geisler really got good movement there.
1st and goal from the 8. Sazowskis up the middle. Sazowskis short of the goal line.
Down to the 2.
6-yard pickup for the senior. Konowalski with the tackle. Sets up 2nd and goal. Again, our purple zone brought to you by Kaplan University, generally known as the red zone, but this season when a team reaches inside their opponent's 20-yard line, it'll be known as the purple zone, brought to you by Kaplan University, a different school of thought. 2:15 and counting.
Yeah, not going to be much time left. Be interesting to see if they go for 2.
Sazowskis in the backfield. You know where it's going. Nixon will fake to Sazowskis into the end zone for the touchdown. Well, got me fooled. I figured it was going to be Dominic's carry that time, but Nixon, the quarterback, took it out of his belly and ran it in for the 2-yard score.
Well, do you want to? They're going to kick it.
They will kick it here to try and tie it.
They could have a fake. Obviously, they could have a fake, but I think they're playing it safe here.
Bet a good snap. It's blocked. It's blocked up front. It was a low kick, and the Wolverines blocked the extra point.
It was a little bit of a low snap, but the holder, who was Nixon, handled it very well and got it on the tee, but he just
Vetta was the long snapper.
Kicked it right into the rush. Never had a chance.
Check that. Strzezuski, who's been their long snapper. I know they've been working on it since that earlier miscue on the punt. Nixon did all he could to get it down, as we'll take another look. Yep.
A little bit too tight a shot. I think we couldn't quite see what was going to happen.
But Timmer's try for the extra point is blocked, and the Wolverines hang on for a 1-point lead here.
Well, there's not much doubt now what's going to happen. It's going to be they're going to have to kick onside kick.
Well, Well, if you're loving tonight's action here, look for more football action this weekend. We've got it for you here on My 24. Middle Tennessee State taking on North Carolina. ACC football Saturday morning at 11 right here on My 24. Middle Tennessee and North Carolina.
Well, Mukwonago's been lining up with 10 guys or 9 guys on this third of the field right here. One safety man on the far side, Jake Krieger, and there's going to be a big scramble right here, right on that 50 right there.
Hill, Rhodes, Kelly, a tight end up front. Timmers pops it up. Fair catch signaled for and made. Nice play there. Milzer did a great job signaling for the fair catch and then making the catch. Well, now if you're Mukwonago, you've got some timeouts. You've got to hold them. Cannot give up a first down here. Connor Blunt next to his head coach, Steve Rux. Jeff Trickey, his position coach. There you get a good look.
Well, I think they're going to keep it on the ground to try to run the clock and make them use their timeouts. And they won't. I don't think they'll put it in the air unless they have to.
We've got 2 solid backs. The fullback McCudden,
right.
The tailback Fort. I formation. Fort around the edge. Fort breaks a tackle.
There you go. Good job going down.
Out near the 40-yard line. Stayed in bounds. Good presence of mind by the senior Fort to stay in bounds, keep the clock rolling. Schifferl on the stop. Mukwonago letting the clock roll. Minute 40 remaining.
I'm sure they'll keep it on the ground again just to keep the clock running.
2nd and 3. Blunt waiting for the back judge to count it down. Fort again. Dives left side. Ooh, can be awfully close.
Muck called timeout. Mukwonago called timeout, and I think it might be close enough they have to measure.
Szyzowskis making his 8th tackle. 2 touchdowns tonight on offense and a block punt that set up that score. But it was the extra point gaff. That's the difference here.
Yeah, right. It's been a really good high school football game. And
everything we said it was going to be here tonight.
You know, when I go out and watch these two teams each week, you try to visualize what you think could happen. And watching both of these teams practice on Tuesday, I could see they both were, first of all, I know their coaches on both sides pretty well. And I could see it was going to be a close game. I thought maybe Mukwonago would have to get a couple turnovers in order to, because I didn't know if their offense would be dynamic enough to do what they had to do, but they've certainly been able to score the points they've needed. They just haven't been able to make some of the plays on defense that they needed.
Now it comes down to this, 3rd and inches here for the Wolverines. Minute 12 to play with a 1-point lead. If they can get the first down, it pretty much shuts the door. Power eye, and the Surge should have it. Blunt, the quarterback, coming out of there with the football, and it will be a first down for the Wolverines.
Timeout Mukwonago, I believe.
They will take their 2nd timeout.
They need a turnover now if that's in order, I think, to pull this one out.
Great crowd on hand, as usual, for Mukwonago football out here tonight, and they've been treated to a dandy. Next week, back into the greater metro. We've got Brookfield East hosting Sussex Hamilton. Our first look at Brookfield East this year.
Well, they have a very good quarterback as well, and they were hurt a little bit with graduation. They had had some good young teams. They lost. Waukesha West was able to beat them. I think their first game of the year fairly handily. We'll see how they've recovered. And of course Hamilton, we had them on our first game. They lost fairly decisively to Franklin. Franklin then was knocked off by Greendale last week, and so we'll see what if Hamilton has recovered, and I look forward to that being another really good football game.
And Hamilton off that, I think it was 49-0 over Morse Marshall last week. 1st and 10 Wolverines. Ball at their own 41-yard line. Fort around the left side. Fort down the left sideline. 40, 35-30 to the 25, 10, 5, touchdown. Waukesha West. Good night, everybody.
Yeah.
$59-yard run for Fort. Putting an exclamation point on this one here tonight.
The only thing I'll say is if they kick the extra point, they'll be ahead by 8. And with 1 minute to go, it is possible to get 8 points.
Officials holding up play here. Another equipment check. Well, there you saw the Elijah Fort coming into this game, the leading rusher in the area, 375 yards.
He hasn't hurt himself tonight. That's
59 on that play. You're right. The extra point is up, and it is no good.
Whoa.
Missed it to the right.
Well, 7 points, 8 points. Either way, they had a chance. It took one score to tie it up or win. Either way. So this is not over.
Mukwonago still on life support here with under a minute to go. Well, turns back over to the defenses now.
So now the question is, are you going to kick a line drive and give a chance to their returners to run it back? You're going to try to kick it in the end zone. If you think you can do that, if you don't, then they have a chance to return it. So it'll be they got some decisions to be made here. You certainly don't want to kick it out of bounds and give them the ball at the 35-yard line. So this game is, if I was Mukwonago, I'm thinking we still have a chance here. There's things we can do to win.
Quickly down to the sideline, and Mike.
Boys, it's just got a look from Clay Iverson. The look told me that he's a little surprised Waukesha West didn't take a knee, game would be over. They gave him a shot, and I don't know if Iverson let that kid get in the end zone, but the look he gave me tells me he knew something.
I wouldn't put it past him, Mike. You got a good point there.
Well, I will say that I didn't think the defensive backs really made an effort to go after him. So that might be the possibility, because unless they went for 2 and got ahead by 9, then they needed 2 scores to win. So we'll see. But I can tell you who's going to have the ball in his hand. It's going to be number 47.
Yep. 4 plays, 70 yards. Fort officially a 60-yard touchdown run.
I don't know if Muck still has a timeout left or not. I know they used 2. I can't remember if they had one earlier in the half or not. I don't think they did.
Milzer, again, a little wedge. He taken by the short back. He's going to toss it back to Sazowskis. Little toss to the big man. He's trying to get to the outside.
There you go.
Out to the 35-yard line. Sazowskis will set them up with good field position. 51 seconds to go.
Yep.
Hudler, T.J. Hudler, in on the tackle for Waukesha West.
46-yard line, 1st and 10, Mukwonago.
So from the 36-yard line, no timeouts. Again,
no
clock
timeouts.
will
Okay.
stop on the made first down.
Okay, good.
Sazowskis not in
He's
on
not
this
in
play.
there. I'm a little bit surprised they wouldn't just toss him a little flare pass.
Nixon wants to throw. Now on the run. Across the 40, 45, midfield. Still on his feet, breaks a tackle to the outside. Nixon cuts it back to the inside the 30, down to the 25-yard line.
Wow.
Clock will stop while they reset the chains. 37 seconds left. Andrasky finally got him to the turf.
Okay, I guess we find out that they do have a timeout left. Now, Nixon, of course, he's a 190-pound quarterback. He's an awesome basketball player. A great presence on the field.
Down to the 23-yard line. 1st and 10, Mukwonago. Play fake. They'll pitch it to the outside.
Out of bounds stop. Oh, he's in bounds. In bounds.
Timmer stayed in bounds.
Now they have to use their
Yep,
timeout.
they'll take their final timeout here.
Timeout Mukwonago.
So they did have a timeout remaining as we get another look here. Timmers in motion, getting the pitch.
Now you see Nixon kind of getting on. I thought he was getting on the guy, his runner, for not going out of bounds, but I guess he wasn't. They tackled him inbounds, but he didn't have a chance to get out of bounds.
So the Indians take their final timeout, 22 seconds remaining here in the fourth. They face a 2nd and 5 from the Wolverine 20-yard line.
I'm a little surprised they don't have the big guy in the game, but I have a feeling he's going to make an appearance here now. Yeah, he's in the huddle.
Indian students on their feet here.
Lining up at wide receiver.
The Kaplan purple zone, 2nd and 5.
They're going to throw it down there and let him fight for it. He has a 42-inch vertical jump. That's not a...
Now Waukesha West will take a timeout. Kind of like in basketball where you get the players on the floor, you're ready to inbound, and you take a look at it and say, okay, we see it, now we're going to defend it.
I think I would put 2 guys on him. I would put one on the line of scrimmage and one deep, because you know they're going to throw a jump ball down there.
Sazowski's 47 in your picture there just a minute ago.
And I would blitz the quarterback because they're not going to throw a short pass, you know that, and make him get rid of it.
Waukesha West faithful tonight, making the 25-minute trek here to Mukwonago. Sazowskis will be lined up here as a split end to the near side.
Okay, they're putting Konowalski out on top of him.
Ryan Wagner will be the flanker to the right. Nixon wants to throw. He's looking that way, now scrambles. Steps up, delivers, man open, touchdown Mukwonago! Ryan Wagner with the touchdown reception. Now you have a 1-point game. What does Clay Iverson do?
I think he goes for 2. He tries to win it right here.
Nixon.
Yeah, Nixon's in the game. Let's see. I can't tell. The kicker is in the game. That's Timmer.
They're going to go for 2 and the win.
They're going to win it right here.
Now movement up front, and Mukwonago will be called for a false start.
Wow.
Oh my. 9th penalty tonight on Mukwonago, and it
Mukwonago doesn't have a
time.
timeout. They don't have a timeout, and I don't think West wants to call a timeout to give them a chance to regroup.
Looked like somebody maybe on that
tell
right
the
side.
Center or the right guard flinched a little bit, so they're gonna kick it. They're gonna line up to kick it anyway.
They're gonna show that swinging gate formation.
Yeah.
So they will be forced to kick because of that penalty. Timmers to tie. Ball down.
Good.
Kick on the way, and we are tied in Mukwonago.
Great comeback. It's great football. Great game.
I'll tell you what. You go back to that Ford touchdown, and you're right. They let up. They let him in. Clay Iverson had just enough time to get the ball down the field. But I'll tell you what, Nixon sold that last play very well. He looked left the entire time for Sazowskis as we get another look at the extra point.
Well, also the defensive back who was covering Wagner fell down in the end zone. But he had too much time to run around back there. That's why they needed to maybe get the linebackers after him, so he didn't have that kind of time. But, that's easy for me to stand up here and say all that because I don't have any horse in the race. But you got to give both teams credit for being creative and playing to win and not giving in until the last seconds off the clock.
So 14 seconds to go here in regulation. Timmers will be forced to kick. Clay Iverson.
Clay Iverson right there.
I'd like to sit down at a poker table with him, huh?
Yeah. He'll probably relax sometime in January. And maybe not even then. Talking to a special teams coach, there's John Sterner, who's a former player of mine, and he coaches the kickoff return and kickoff coverage here. I don't think they're going to do anything crazy.
Wagner capping off that 3-play drive with that 15-yard touchdown reception.
Well,
fair catch signaled for and made at the 29-yard line.
McCudden made that catch.
McCudden able to make the catch.
We got a penalty flag.
And a late flag right where McCudden was standing. Oh, wow.
You're going to say illegal fair catch signal.
Well, he signaled twice.
Well, he didn't wave his hand. You know, he put his hand up, but he didn't wave it. That's
wow.
Splitting hairs a little bit, I would say, at this point in the game.
Officials are going to huddle up on this one. Referee Todd Ahall. They're going to disregard
Wave it off. Yeah. Let's be reasonable here, boys and girls.
So it'll be 1st and 10. Wolverines at their own 29-yard line. I think they have one timeout left as well.
Yeah, they got a quarterback with a very good arm, and they got a 6'3" receiver who can run. I might just heave it down there and see if we can something good will happen. And based on the things that have happened tonight, it certainly could.
We're going to have Sharnick, number 6 in your picture, along with Konowalski and Kelly.
He's going to go back and play the victory formation, even though it's not a victory right now. They're going to go to overtime.
Blunt will take a knee. And we will head to our first overtime game on Thursday Night Lights this season.
Well, this is our 4th year doing this, and this is one of the best games we've had in the 4 years. I'll tell you that right now. Now there's a 3-minute break here. They will toss a coin.
We'll take our break as well as we head into overtime here in Mukwonago, tied at 37 on Thursday Night Lights, presented by Wendy's. Headed to overtime here in Mukwonago. Before we get started, let's head downstairs to Mike McGivern.
Hey, boys, 2 things. One, I got a text from a well-respected coach in the area. He said 47 looks like Godzilla rumbling through Tokyo. I wish it was my line, but it's not. Best line of the night. 2, question for Coach Basham. How difficult is it right now, the Waukesha West sidelines coach, getting these kids up? Game was won, well in hand, so they thought. I'm wondering from your point of view, how hard will it be for them to get up to play in this overtime?
Well, to answer that, I don't think they'll have any trouble getting up because it's a lot on the line, and I don't think they ever felt they had the game totally won. They're going to have their biggest problem is stopping number 47, really, because he is Godzilla running through Tokyo, and we'll see how they do.
That was the best line of the night.
Yeah. It is.
I should have taken that line, but I couldn't because it wasn't mine. So there you go. Thanks, boys.
Always the polite one in Mike McGivern.
Well, what's happening now? Let's explain what's happening now. We're going to start the game over here. They're going to have a coin toss. One team's going to get to choose the direction they want to go, and the other team's going to get to choose whether they want to be on offense or defense. If you win the toss, you usually take defense. So evidently Waukesha West won the toss, and they want to go on defense, so they know what they have to do after Mukwonago has the ball. Each team gets the ball at the 25-yard line, 1st and 10, and as long as they keep getting 1st and 10s or score, they get to keep playing with it. And then the other team gets a chance also. And then they get to the 3rd overtime, I think they have to go for 2 points if it goes that far. If it goes to a 2nd overtime, then West will be on offense first and Mukwonago will be on defense in the 2nd overtime.
So West won the toss, elected to go on defense.
Right.
Mukwonago will start this overtime on the 25-yard line. They'll work it on our right side of the field here, the north end of the stadium.
There is no wind, so it's not a factor in the game.
And again, as you said, Dick, it's 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. If you keep making first downs, you keep possession, you keep going.
Exactly.
Timeout situation. Each team will have timeouts to use.
I think they each get one more timeout. They don't think they can. It's been a while since I coached now. I don't think timeouts carry over. You get one timeout in the overtime.
Right.
I'm
and
mistaken.
Sizauskas is in the backfield here.
Yes.
Here we go. First overtime, first possession. It'll be Mukwonago from the 25-yard line. Aaron Nixon in under center. He'll fake to Sizauskas. He'll take it up the middle himself. He'll take a couple of tacklers with him for a gain of 5. Ian Howden on the ride that time, finally brought him down.
He's a tough runner, I'll tell you.
Gain of 5 on the play. 2nd and 5 upcoming. Tied at 37, overtime tonight in Mukwonago. Sizauskas, the fullback. He'll get the call. Breaks a couple of tackles, dives forward near the 15-yard line. Looks like he has enough for the first down. Marcus Kelly, they've tangled a couple of times tonight. Kelly able to bring him down, and we've got an injured Mukwonago player being helped off here.
That's Alex Winsky. He and Radliff got a little tangled up towards the end of that play. He's their right tackle, and he comes off the field with a leg injury. That's really unfortunate.
So it is enough for a first down for the Indians. They'll keep possession here in the overtime. They'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Sizauskas and Williams in the backfield. Timmers in motion. They'll give it to Williams. Williams around the left side. Touchdown, Mukwonago. Colton Williams, the 5'9 junior, coming around the left side, broke one tackle and got it in.
Just a little counter play right here. Step right, counter to back to the left. Good blocking, 2 missed tackles, touchdown.
Hippus had the shot, couldn't bring him down. Timmers will kick the extra point.
You see Tyler Hilker running there. He has replaced Winsky, who was injured on the previous play.
Good snap. Ball down by Nixon. Kick by Timmers is up, and it is good.
Pulled it a little bit to the left, but he snuck it in there.
44-37, and now Waukesha West will get their possession here in the overtime with a chance to match. Colton Williams on the left side, broke 2 tackles for the touchdown. And now we'll see the West offense go to work here. Connor Blunt, quarterback. The tandem will be McCudden and Fort. Play action fake. Blunt dumps it off McCudden to the 20. McCudden to the 15, and he's wrestled down at the 12. Late penalty marker, might have a face mask on top. Well, take it inside the 5 as Seward brought him down and may have also grabbed a face mask.
Well, that's been a good play for them tonight. I'm not surprised they ran that on that first down. Half the distance to the goal.
Yep. That'll put it down to the 6. We get another look.
Yep, there it is right there. A little dump into the flat. Breaks outside. There's a face mask right there. That official was right on top of it.
So 1st and goal for the Wolverines.
Well, that changes the dynamic now. 6 yards to go with first down.
And this is their possession of the overtime. They trail by 7. They need a touchdown and at least to kick the extra point to force a second overtime. Fort fell down as he made his cut. stopped behind the line of scrimmage that time as he tried to cut back at the hash mark. Dave Maniange in on the stop, the inside linebacker to cover him up.
Yeah, now they got to decide whether they want to keep it on the ground or put it in the air. If they keep it on the ground and don't get much, then you know on third down they really have to put it in the air.
Rhodes and Sharnick split to the left. They'll give it to Fort, cuts it back to the goal line. No signal, touchdown.
Yeah.
Late signal by the line judge far side, and Waukesha West an extra point or 2-point conversion here. Let's see what they'll do.
I think they'll, that's interesting.
Steve Ruck's taking his time.
They have a great kicker here. You can see the play, a little toss, and he turns it up and barrels his way into the end zone right here. Good.
Back with more from Mukwonago. Your final tonight, West 45, Mukwonago 44. Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's. Waukesha West in overtime tonight. Touchdown and 2-point conversion. Mukwonago getting the first score in overtime, but Wolverines answer with the touchdown and the 2-point conversion by Tom McCudden to take a 45-44 victory over the homestanding Mukwonago Indians. We head downstairs. Mike McGivern with the winning coach and team.
Hey guys, here with Coach Steve Rucks, Terry Gaughan, General Manager of My 24. Before we give you the game ball, just another night, huh? Another football game?
Yeah, just another night. Hey, it went back and forth. Two great teams battling out there. Came down to the wire, could have went either way. Our guys kept the faith, kept working. We got it done.
I got to tell you, we've been doing this now 3 years. That's the best game that we've had. And I want to thank you and your boys. Terry Gaughan wants to present the ball to you guys.
Coach, congratulations on a phenomenal game. And believe me, of all the games that we've had, this was by far the best, and it was definitely the best one tonight on television.
Yeah. No doubt. Hey, chill. Get it going, boys.
Mike, get out of there before you get hurt. Wolverines, a happy group here tonight, 45-44 over Mukwonago, and this is what it's all about in the Classic 8.
If you'd told me there were going to be 89 points scored in this game, then I'd have said you're crazy. But it was a great football game, and both teams had a chance to win the game, and as it turned out, Waukesha made the final play.
Well, the players of our game tonight, boy, so many to choose from, but we're going to go with Fort from
Well, it's a great
Waukesha
story.
West.
You know, last year at this time he was ineligible. Now he's an excellent student. He's playing great football. He's the leading rusher in the area, and he had a couple TDs tonight. I think maybe 3 as a matter of fact. And here you can see, I think that's the first one. He had the one in overtime. He had the long run late in the game. Although as we watch it here now, they did let him score so they could get the ball back with some time, I believe. But he's a great player, and it's a great story, and it's going to be fun to watch all year in the Classic 8 Conference.
Elijah Fort with 3 touchdowns tonight, and Dominic Sazowskis, what a night on both sides of the ball.
I can't say enough about Dominic Sazowskis, not only as a football player but as an athlete. And the good news is that you're going to be able to watch him play for the Badgers for the next 4 or 5 years, depending on how many years he takes to take up his eligibility. But he's a great athlete and a really good football player. He's been starting since he's a freshman. It was really a pleasure to watch him. Here he blocks the kick, which was a huge play in the game, turnaround, and he's a guy who can take over a football game. And I wouldn't say that about many players, but he's one who can.
Elijah Fort and Dominic Sazowskis are players of the game tonight. Tough to top this one, but next week we go to Brookfield East. The Spartans hosting Sussex Hamilton next Thursday night at 7 o'clock right here on My 24. For Kara and Mike, Dick Basham, for Terry Kelly, our spotter, I'm John Weiser. Thanks for tuning in to Thursday Night Lights presented by Wendy's. Good night from Mukwonago.